Welcome to this another episode of the Saudichress show. And wherever you are, let me say good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is the Saudichress show, which you are eager for the start of the show. And let me apologize for the late start, but just a few technical glitches. And however, we are up and out now, or up and in. So let me big up and welcome my co-panel or my co-host, the man they call Mr. Lee, Garvey Massimo Alliance. Big up yourself, Mr. Lee.
Yes, Sadi.
And
Night,
of
night.
blessings. And of course, Ronaldo Rankin, the man from
Blessing,
Carnegie
man.
College. Blessings,
Yes,
blessings,
sir.
blessings. Tonight, gentlemen, we expect to have another epic show. And of course, our guest will be a little late. And I know he's coming, but nevertheless, but it's all about a football coach. It's all about football tonight. Um, Thursday night is not necessarily a customary night for the Saudichress show, but again, we have to be flexible depending on guests and, of course, our own panelists. Yes, and the topics, what needed, and where do we go. So, right here, people, Mr. Lee, what's going on today? Jamaica under 20 versus Trinidad under 20. What's going on? Yes.
Some watch some little clippings of the game still, but it wasn't. I didn't watch a whole game
Okay.
from start to finish. But I don't have much to say about that game.
So, ranking, what
It
what
was a
what did you
practice
see?
game that's supposed to play in Trinidad,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I didn't get to see much of it, to be honest. As I said, half year, sorry. When I joined, we're already doing about two nil, I think.
Wow.
2-0. Yeah, and then I was watching an MG stream, and it wasn't the best, to be honest. It wasn't the best, but what I saw, we didn't look as you expect. We didn't look cohesive, just look
Mhm.
like 11 individuals. And that's actually just
No, that's
11
true. That's the same.
players, just 11 players playing.
Yeah, that's the same thing I would say to ranking.
It's not like the guys aren't good enough, sorry. It's just that 11 strangers, running around together. So
So
it didn't look
no team
no team cohesion.
chemistry.
No.
Bad. That doesn't look good for the start. But guess what? It's a practice game,
I
and
think
Hmm.
maybe the our coaches are using it to, probably fine tune or to put a better squad together. I'm not sure. I know that there are some overseas players in the squad. Never check it right out, but what I've seen from the Jamaican output coming to you, Sir Lee, is that the Jamaicans who are in the, or should I say, the local based Jamaican players who are in the squad came from, I think, about 3 or 4 clubs in the country. There's one club I think boasts about 5 or 6 players. I don't know. So maybe that shouldn't be such a problem in terms of chemistry, knowing that these players play for the same club. But it's the nature of it. So that's just my view. But Shirley,
yeah. I don't know, Saturday. I just watch a little part of the game still. So, like I said, I don't have much to say about that game.
oh yeah. Well, that's how it goes. Everything in one. I've seen a bit of news. Manchester High School has
Hmm.
again turned to a former coach, a well-known coach in Jamaica.
Hmm.
Rankin, can you shed some light on that one?
Yeah, the news on the ground is that Manchester High School has now appointed Donovan Duki as their new head coach going into the new season. I'm not sure what length of contract it is, but we know that he'll be taking the head coach role at Manchester High. So looking out for Manchester again, as usual. Let's see if Duki can get them mentally. Because that's the thing, Mr. Lee and Saudi. That's been hindering Manchester. They have the talent, because they're always dominating the first round. So let's see if he can get them mentally prepared to go further this year.
So it's a mental block. But of course, he was there some seasons ago, and some
Mm.
indication I have learned that he was actually in the mix last year as well, playing more of a technical director role or some advisor role. So maybe it's not so much a bad thing the fact that he was there last year. I don't know. What do you what do you think about that? Is that true, by the way?
Mm, he
Oh,
was doing so. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Ali.
oh, he was doing some consultant. Was it last year or the year before? He was doing some
He,
consultant, no?
he was
This
doing
year,
consult. It was the season that just finished.
The season just
Like was
finished?
some like was some advisor I heard.
Yeah, yeah, but you also have this other guy down there to this older guy. What's his name again?
Bradley Stewart.
Bradley Stewart, yeah. So I
Mm,
guess my Bradley Stewart would have farmed a 1-2 punch.
I guess so.
Well,
So
Bradley
who
Stewart,
was who was the coach last year though, Sadi?
the coach last year was Chambers, Janai Chambers. He took them to the semifinals last year.
What happened? He got fired.
Well, that's Manchester High School, you know. They have the clout, they have the money. They're going for
What
it.
the money?
They try
That-
all sort of
you know, them kind
trick
of sound
shot play.
familiar, familiar story.
Yes,
What
It
the
and
money?
seems like they don't keep one coach too long neither.
I don't want to make any comparison tonight, early.
No, me not
And
call no name.
that is
Me not call no
yeah,
name.
and that is the flaw. That is the flaw in enough plans in us already. You
Yes,
can't give coaches 1 year, man.
but you know, I don't understand. But Manchester, I
Mm.
was told, that is one of the biggest spenders in schoolboy football last year.
Yeah, man, I
They
know
have
that's the
spent a
fact.
whole lot of money, you know, on
Over the years.
different things, and even the
Hey,
pitch. Even the
as
pitch,
you take your words out of my mouth.
they have spent a lot of money to get the pitch up to scratch so they can play the brand or the quality of football, develop their players. But somehow I've seen the pitch and I was a bit disappointed. You know, I can't really believe that is the pitch that I was told was probably one of the best pitch in the country based on the work that was done. No, not
the,
at all.
the
But
gears, the gears that I hear, sorry to cut you, sorry, the gears that I hear that they have, the equipment technology that I hear that they have down there. I don't know for a fact. I'm just hearing speculation
mhm.
that they have some gear to like train and whatever. And I'm like, Manchester really have money down there, pumping into the program. So,
And
and
you
I've been
see,
hearing that they have the best field rivaling with Glenmuir. But when I went down there, it wasn't the best, to be honest.
no, I can't see it as the best. Yeah,
but
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 you know,
Donovan
sir,
Ducky as a coach. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
no man, go ahead, go
Go
ahead.
ahead, sorry. Go ahead,
Ducky
Mr. Lee.
Ducky as a coach, he never won nothing.
No,
Neither
not in,
neither
not in
ne-
schoolboy.
neither in the Premier League, neither, right? Jamaica Premier League.
Sorry, you have to tell me that.
No, no. My information, if I'm wrong, I would stand for correction. But he has not won any major trophy in schoolboy football or Premier League. And you know, to be honest with you, I think he's really a good coach, but somehow there's something missing from his repertoire. Some is actually skill or capacity to believe. I think to motivate players. Sorry, that's where I believe, you know, some aspect of his coaching flaws are. I think he also is not this patient. He's not a coach with patience. Yes, he's one of those coaches that I will tell you will run you to the ground. Physically, his team have to be physically fit. He's good with that. But if you are unable to reach to the heights that he want to bring you, I believe, you know, that will be the end of you for that season for a couple of games. He's impatient. And I understand a man who want to win, who feel that he should have been a winner, just like myself. The fact that he has so much experience, I believe, you know, this coach should have a few trophies under his bench. Welcome, Tom Stranger.
Um,
Bless up to a panelists them and viewers.
up, stranger, up.
Bless up,
Anthony,
stranger.
Where?
Anthony MG in the chat, Mr. Lee. Coach with most excuses at Manchester High again.
Hmm. This is him second go around, huh?
Yes.
Yeah,
Anthony
the
is
second
also
try.
Glenmuir High field better than Manchester High. By far, man. By far.
Yeah,
And
man.
as I'm saying too, you know, it is not the type of field that you heard about. Dallas Harris, blessing Saudi and the crew. Bless up yourselves, Dallas, Mr. P. Chairman. Yes, so go ahead now, Mr. Lee.
Bless up, brother.
No, Saudi. I mean, where this he would have been coach as far as you can remember. I know it was at Charlie Mount one year. He was at
Charlemont.
Manchester. Where else?
He, Charlemont, Manchester.
He didn't coach, didn't he? Right?
No, I don't. I, all right, I don't remember the other schoolboy, but he was. I think, if my memory serves him right, probably he has coaching every team in the in the Premier League. And I say that with a little grin, not saying every, but a whole lot. Yes, so he has been around quite a lot. Yes, I think
You
he's
Saudi.
one of the most traveling coaches.
Saudi,
Yeah.
you want to get him on the show, Cricket for ask him some question.
Well, I'll try my very best to do that, sir. Yes.
Saudi. She say everybody make them moves early to try get this thing win, Saudi.
You see,
Hey,
one of the thing is,
Mr. Lee, you know see what going? Everybody
remember,
make them little moves, Right at January,
remember I said to
No,
you,
but if there's position open, doing a position have to get filled, ranking.
remember
I
I
know so
said
they
to
ain't got
you,
really open door, Mr. Lee.
Eh?
When it open, I mean say nobody not there, no, man.
Yeah, but you don't know. Person would have exited. You probably don't know to the public, but person would have exited from their role. So you know
Probably.
the position need to be filled. So people have put things into place early.
Yeah,
yes,
look forward to this League Cup season.
I tell you, remember I said, don't forget these people. My panelists, my fellow panelists, bring me to the books if it is not so. But I think this coming up Dakar Cup and Manning Cup season will be a season of coaches. I said it from last year. And there are too many coaches with experiences, with names, yes, with, I believe, fans are following, will create the atmosphere for some really competitive games. When I look at how it, penned out last year, and trust me, people, I believe, strongly believe, that the better coaches reach the semifinals and the better coaches won trophies last year. That's my view.
Sorry. My
Mhm.
latest news on the JFF. Are
Well,
you the on the ground, I want to know what
to
going.
be honest, Surly, I have not heard anything. I don't have any information to give you in terms of anything. What would I say now? Of note,
Concrete.
yes.
Not
Yes.
not
Little chat
not
I'm hearing, not hearing anything come out of the hearing, out of the court, if there's any settlement. But even the camps have gone silent. Both camps have
uh,
gone silent since this whole thing here. But as I say, where my views are right now in terms of how do I get that information. And I continue to try, I continue to make plans with the both gentlemen who are going up for presidential status. But, I prefer to, just stay on the side, not to try and go too deep before I get these gentlemen in to educate us, to let us know all what's going on in each of these camps. Because let me tell you, Sir Lee and Rankin, in my view, a lot of things that we hear out in the media, I believe, they are not coming from the actual camps. Yes, a lot of people speculating, a lot of people adding and subtracting. And I'm saying that to say because I've heard something that I've heard no, when I get into it, I try to do my research. It is conflicting, yes, contradicting stories. And saying that to say maybe the source that I get it from is also wrong. I'm not sure because I'm not getting directly or the direct information, if you understand what I mean. So I don't know which way to turn. So I believe getting Mr. Michael Ricketts or Mr. Raymond Anderson on this show will be maybe the perfect situation for us to delve into that situation.
what's the chance of that happening?
Well, it's a very pretty high chance. I think we have a good chance of getting um, at least one of them. Yes, I suspect that if I get one, I will get the other one because they will want to, yes, to cover their part or to give their side. So I just want to start. I have been promised, to be honest with you, I have not get a chance to tie down a date for the interview, but we have been communicating. And one thing I must say, Mr. Ricketts would have promised me that last week, would make himself available. Anyhow, it wasn't to be, and I have not gotten any feedback to say why. But I understand the situation. I understand the sensitive nature. Um, it's not an easy thing, really, to be honest with you. And I listen to a lot of people. They don't want to come on the YouTube shows. They don't want to get themselves in social media space. Yes, because put it this way, on a regular TV show, yes, mainstream media TV show, it would have been the host and the guest, right? Right in YouTube land, you have fans all over pitting their piece. You understand what I say? So it can be very distractive. It can be very lonely, and especially where so many people have their own views of what's happening. But the Saudichress show is very accommodating, very unique, and of course respectful. So I don't fear that any of these candidates would have mind, that sort of situation. What say you, Tom Stranger? Yeah, man.
I saw them on other platforms, so I don't think they would be scared to come on your platform still. So I think if they give you a day for an interview, I think they'll show up.
Yeah, man. I think so. I really think so. Anthony, so you're back in the building. Greetings, Saudichress, Peart channel. Big up the, you're this man. Big up the Undits and the panel. On the rich pandit stage, yet, well, correct yourself. All right, all
I
right. So, give
show,
me
I
a few
show other
words,
night all of the people man them show up at other nights. That's right.
Mm-mm. RRL, may I go on a story? RR is a Piba man outside of Piba,
Mm.
Yes, so Anthony MG, big up yourself, man. Great work, Saudichress. Show. And he continued to say
Big up
that
Anthony.
great teamwork. Blessed yourself, Anthony MG. Yeah, man, that's what we try to do. So, as we know that tonight will be our special guest, of course. Very talk about coach. We'll talk about individual, but he said that he would be a bit late, so we're waiting for him. No, just Australia from football, cricket, West Indies down under. You know, at one stage last night, West Indies were like 65 for five, or is it
Yeah, I
65 for
think it
four?
was I think 65 or 4.
Hmm?
I think it was
65,
65 or 4.
right? And presently they are 200 and something for eight. Who 66, I think, for eight, So the silver in the middle there, they put on 100 and partnership to rescue the team. So I
In the
believe
middle
right
order.
now, yes, if West Indies can luckily tackle to another 34 runs and make 300, I believe, they not stand a chance to win, in my view, but they will be able to give Australia a competitive first innings total.
Yeah, Saudi. 300 nobody enough in a Saudi for Australia.
No, I'm not saying it is good. That's why I say I don't think they will win. But it,
Yeah, yeah, but
a
give
first
them
innings.
something to fight for, basically. Yeah, yeah,
Let me tell you something, gentlemen, and these I believe as long as we know that West Indies is very weak, but
yeah. Mm-hmm.
for me, thinking and playing and talking cricket, runs on the board
Mm.
is very very important.
Yeah, that's why I said it's
You
good to
get what
get the
I say?
300. But
So
if Australia goes in there in the dugout and say, all right, we have 300 to chase in the boys, let's go get it. They expect the first 2 men to get at least 80. But cricket is not it. Cricket doesn't even get talk like that in a Saudi because the first two men can make five.
Can't make those.
So
So this is the
cricket
type
not
of
talk
thing
like
I'm
that.
saying. When you go in the middle, you only have it's when on the pitch it is 2 versus 11.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it takes a lot, and I believe really, if they get 300, I think we
Can
probably
try
could
to
go
defend.
to yeah, man. If we get 300 runs, at least we can go to 4 day this time around. Because
And
no,
Embrace sitting.
no, man, no doubt Australia would want to bat once, and for Australia to bat once, they have to make at least 500 runs. My view, yes. So 500 runs, they won't make that in 1.5 days. So another 2 days take us to day three, and then day four we try to do something. So I'm taking it step by step. We lose in 3 days, so let's lose if we are to lose in 4 days. It's got a
4 days,
difficult job.
right.
Yes, I don't.
Dry out.
I don't see West Indies making 300 twice. Me I tell
You
you
have to
the
put you have
truth.
to put that you have to put on back your gears and join in Saudi.
No, sir, me never so good for me West Indies team, but when you look at how the guys are playing, trust me, they're not better than me, man. Some of these guys that are playing now, me, Saudichress, I tell you, in my better days, in my A days playing cricket, I don't think they are better than me. Big up myself, man, that one day.
So
You
why West
Yeah, of
Indies
course.
cricket get support, Saudi?
it's a whole different ball game. It's a number of reasons, Tom. It's a number of reasons. People we have our
Marketing.
guests here, Sir Peart.
Saudi, good afternoon or good evening or
I wonder if
night.
where are you, sir? Australia or England?
Um, Manchester, but which one are Manchester? To the Manchester, England or Manchester, Jamaica?
I asked about if it is England, so let me know.
Yeah, man, Manchester up the hill, man.
Manchester
Jamaica.
up there. All
Yeah,
right,
watch.
sir. All right, all right.
Afternoon to your co-host. I don't want to call him.
All right. So
Yeah, good evening. I keep saying afternoon.
why I don't know, but
Big up, Mr. Pierre.
Good night,
Yeah,
Coach
man.
Pierce. Yeah, man. For a minute, I thought
Good.
you was getting cold feet and come.
No,
And
no,
Good night,
about
good night,
yeah,
Mr. Pierre.
run from the interview, Mr. Pierre.
no, no,
nah,
no.
nah,
Yeah,
man.
I must say welcome. He's just wrapping up a meeting and then coming up now.
Yeah,
Yes,
man,
man,
of
we
your
know you
words,
go.
man. Yeah, man, of your words. We like that.
Yeah, respect.
So, Sir Peart, you are the man of the hour, and we were just trying to entertain our fans. They are waiting for you as well. And, without any further delay, let me say welcome to this Saudichress show. It's a long time coming. And, of
True.
course, I'm happy that you are here. I know that you would come, man.
Yeah,
It's a long
man.
time coming. And, it's always a pleasure to have such an esteemed guest with us. This gentleman is not just a coach, I must say. But for us to hear some more, sir, customarily on the Saudichress show, I would ask you, in short, to introduce yourself. Tell us a little about Mr. Andrew Peart. Where is Mr. Peart coming from? How did you reach this stage? Just in a nutshell.
Yeah, in a nutshell, um, everything started for me in Mile Gully. Born in Manchester, grew up in Mile Gully, so would have gone to Mile Gully Primary School, then to Manchester High School, and then from Manchester to University of the West Indies, Mona. And then from there, from Mona, I went to work at Sportsmax for 2.5 years as a researcher producer, and started off with the Olympics and then the Sportsmax Zone show. That was when Simon Crascale, Wavell Hines, Alexis Nunes were hosting. And then
Wow.
I would have said 2 years in that stint at Sportsmax, I started to do some work with Barbican Football Club through Miguel Coley. And
Yes.
so I was working with the under 20 team at Barbican. So Denton Shedden was the coach, and I was assisting him there. And also assisting with Barbican. This would be a Super League team that made it to the Premier League that same season. So the Premier League comes around about September now to start. And at the same time, UWE contacted me about coming back to UWE now, not as a player or student, but as a coach to assist Marcel Gale with the intercall. And also, UWE was in the Super League that year, trying to reach a spot where we can eventually get promoted. Because with that UWE project, just to backtrack there, Professor Gordon Shirley, who is at the Port Authorities of Jamaica now, in 2008, my first year at UWE, the university started to give scholarships to football players because Gordon Shirley um, lectured at or look at some other universities and said why we can't be big in sports just like they are. So he said he's giving the team 4 years to move from Division 2 to the Premier League. It was a vision. It took 7 years, not four, but at least we still made fruition on that. So my first year at UWE as a coach with Marcel Gale, we won the CASAFA Super League and then went into the Premier League playoffs with Portmore United, Savannah, and York. And we and Portmore made it through to the Premier League that year. So that's 2015. The Premier League there. And then when we qualified, I went to work with Miguel Cole again, this time at JC. And that's where now people start to know you from UWE in the Premier League and JC
Yes.
with the Manning Cup and so forth. But that was the backstory then a little bit of the backstory I leave out is that at Sportsmax I kind of made the decision that if you're serious about this football coaching thing, then the 9 to 5 was kind of conflicting with the coaching process. And then I say, right, I can leave the 9 to 5 work.
For
Yeah, so
coaching.
for coaching. Um as a decision I don't regret up to this day. I just think at that time to really make it to the level that I wanted to, I had to give up something because sometimes with Sportsmax, um, I was working beyond even training hours. So I never want to be in and out, turn up today, don't turn up tomorrow. I figure that to get the success you really want, then you have to really committed to it. And that was what I did. Thankfully, at the time, no children, no wife, no nothing. So you can make a decision like that um, and take the plunge. And it kind of work out still because the UA move and even the GSC move kind of work out big time for me. So here I am today, trying to continue and build on all of that work and even help others to understand um, how you can really reach further if you have the ambitions of seriously pursuing football, whether as a player or coach.
All right, sir. I know there's so much that you have said, but before I allow the panelists to pose any question, there are some things that I need to look. And I've seen R asking the question. What about the footballer? What level of football did you play?
Oh, so yes, so I was always about sports. Always, always, always. I have some cousins now who, like 4 or 5 years older than me, when I used to say I want to be an engineer or when you really reach a adolescent age where right, this is what I really wanted to do. Like I
Mhm.
want to be a land surveyor. Like one of my cousins used to say, "Oh, you're a madman, man. All your life you had no way. If you ask one player down by Russia who play for FC Novigrad, you can tell us who him be and where him come from and all of that." So they always knew that sport was the thing. So cricket, football, always played those primary school. Then when I went to high school, I kind of just focused on the football part because I realized they were much better cricketers at Manchester High School than me. And to be fair, you have to just add that.
That happy
And
for
then
that. That's true.
with the cricket,
Can't make a team fit.
yeah, can't make the team. You know, have substitutions and all them things there. So I said the football was always my thing. So I won't even try tag the cricket with it. So football U14, 16, under 19, captain every level at Manchester High School. And the turn you see Manchester High School now making in football, where they are making it to finals and becoming like a prominent team. That resurgence, I think, started with my year group, where Barry Watson came in 2006. So my final 2 years at school, I was his captain, and we started to make it out of the group and challenge to the quarterfinals and things like that. So I remember one year we were in 2007, we were in the interzone group with Clarendon College, Stets, and Women Technical. And based on pedigree at that time, Manchester High School would be the team where people say, oh, okay, you're going to finish last. I remember the interzone at that time is one team go through, and across the
From the
entire
zone.
Cup, you're going to have one best second place team. And we topped the group that year. We beat Clarendon College, drew with States, beat Homewood, and then went through to the quarterfinals to play Cornwall, drew 1-1 at Kirkvine, lost 3-0 in the rain at Portland to Fair Prospect, and then drew 0-0 with Garvey Masia, who won the Doncaster Cup that year. So that was 2007. So that was it. And then when I left, I moved on to UA to play as part of the team that got promotion from the Sid Bartlett, team that got promotion from the Major League, played 1 year in the Super League at UA, and then had an accident, and it took a while for me to feel like myself again, and I just decided to say, oh, I can stop now. And then I told Never Bell at the time, saying, Coach, I don't want to stop involved with football. I think I can move into coaching. And then you had this player, Andre Reynolds. He's in USA now. Mourinho Snipe. That's his name. He goes by now and say, oh, come and do JFF level 1 and become a coach.
My God, what a story. But you talk so much. I still, something resonate with me right now, Sir Peart. What did you study at UA?
Yes, I studied geography. Let me tell you again, you see, Barry Watson has been such a. I tell everybody I have two fathers. Biological father, Patrick Peart, who I'm very close to, and then I have a sporting father who is Barry Watson. So I would have graduated Manchester High School 2007, and I applied for UTech, got through to land surveying, but Barry say, "Oh, how you going to pay for university? Um, a regular poor youth from Mile Gully. Um, how you going to do it?" And I said, "Boy, coach, I don't know." And the one say, because I born November, the ISA system where
Yes,
you can
have
turn
another
19
year.
year, yes. I'm saying, oh, here the plan. Come back to Manchester High School. So, and then we try something else. In the summer, we went to UA to camp for 3 days. And that's the first time I was going over by a second time, by the way, I was going by UA. And like the place and everything, and one of the persons who was there, who worked there, spoke to me about what are you going to do after high school. And I tell him, and him say, all right, the closest thing to land surveying here, which is not technical, but you can study geography. And I said, all right, no problem, I'll think about it. And then at the end of that school year, after returning an extra year, I got a part scholarship to go to UA. So moving from not knowing how you're getting paid if you go to UTech to at least getting a part scholarship to go to UA, turned out to be a good decision for me.
Boy, Peart. Your RR say your resume long. but
It's just a story, man.
finally, before I turn over, sir, panelists, just be with me because there are these little basic things I really want to know. But Peart, let me get a little inquisitive.
Sure.
From a 9 to 5 to coach, it's just recently, I believe, that Jamaican coach were being paid at the minimum rate. Yes, just giving a little juice money at the end of the month or whatever the case. Just some of us think that. But to make that decision, yes, to leave a 9 to 5 to take up coaching full time, because there are very few clubs in this country or schools who were able to pay a coach satisfactorily over 1 month. How easy was that decision?
All right. So as I said at the time, no no children, no wife, um, none of those expenses because I never even own a car or anything like that. And that was one of the things that used to beat me, like to get to training and thing, it would have been hard. But big up Wavell Hines. A lot of the times after sports max finish, Wavell will say, "Come Andrew, come in our car," because he was studying at UA as well. So he would drop me to Barbican, or if I go into UA, he would drop me to UA. So um, because Wavell had the vision that Andrew, you can reach to this level
Yes.
uh, at that time. So big up Mr. Wavell Hines. The decision, all right, without going into a lot of details, okay?
Mhm.
You're fresh out of university, you're not gonna be the highest earning employee any at all. So it's not like I was earning millions at that um, in the nine to
At that
five.
point, yes.
And you were at the time, I say, like this was 4 or 5, 6 years into what should have been a 4 year dream. Decided that okay, we have a little change here. It can pay a coach. When I look at it, the UA one was like $2,000 more. So I said, if I'm doing a 9 to 5 alone, it's gonna be this, and I wouldn't be worried about anything else. And if I go to UA, then it will be $2,000 more, and I'll have more time to do more research, to reflect on your sessions, to see how you can get things better. And I tell you, it was really magical because that first year, I think we won the Intercal knockout, and then as I said, we won the Casafa Super League, and then we got promoted. So like in that first year, things are happening. You say, "Wow, we really made the right decision." So it was like that. So the decision wasn't hard based on your life expectancies because at the time I was living with my aunt and well my uncle and his wife at the time, and big up to them as well. They're not say, oh, you have to pay a rent or something. They say, oh, pay a contribution to the household.
Yeah.
um, and the only other thing I would be paying at the time was like a student loan because it was a part scholarship I got. The decision wasn't hard, and I wasn't even thinking about money at that time because my only ambition at the time is how can I get better and how can I grow. And I figured one of the things was to be fully committed to it and also to align yourself with people who can help you grow. So like Marcel Gale and Miguel Coley, those persons accepted me in, and it's not like you were just picking up cones. Them come, them pick your brain, and them say, "All right, you can take charge of this part of the session, or you can run the full session, or things like those." And you really felt involved, and that motivated you a lot to do more.
Wow. What a journey according to RR. Sir, thank you very much. I'll just allow my panelists now to pose a few to you. And I hope you are well relaxed, sir. You don't have any body. Let me see where. Let me see.
No, 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 no,
Ah,
man.
okay.
I tell you, say because one of the things I rate about you, Saudi, is I always see the show through Vasarenas because Vasarenas is the first one who say, "Oh, check out the show from the Virgin," and
Yes.
um, having met you know throughout the season and the interactions, and you're not pushy for say your company show. You say, "Oh, Virgin, I understand the season and everything." When the season done, whatever, give it time. So I have a little 2 year old now who is at home, but mommy taking care of him and doing better.
Nice.
I just asked for this time because I said I promised Saudi that I'm coming on the show tonight. So we'll have the time, man.
It's a pleasure, man. I appreciate that. All right. So, Sir Lee, my co-host, I turn over to you, sir.
Welcome again, Coach Pierce.
Respect, man.
Yeah, man.
Cubans.
Yeah, man. You don't know. It's like your introduction. get to
Yeah.
learn some things about you some more. It's amazing. You might see like I've been watching you coaching on the sideline for Glenmuir, and just watch the way you present yourself and thing, and now get to hear your introduction, and now me get to know you some more.
Mm-hmm.
Find out say boy is a humble youth, and get to learn your journey that you tried to get where you're at now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
respect.
man. Yeah, man. Kind of nice, Nice to know that. I'm want to congratulate you upon we follow schoolboy football a lot. One of my favorite thing that I want to congratulate you for with the win we have with Glenmuir, win the championship cup, win them first championship cup. Congrats man that man. I know that must be a great achievement for you. The schoolboy thing. I mean, you won Ben Francis when last year, right? You that won the Ben
Yeah,
Francis the first year. That
2022.
that would have been your first major schoolboy title
Yes, as a head coach.
as a head coach, yeah.
Mhm.
But even as a player too, win nothing as a player.
No, no, no.
So as a
Um,
head coach,
yeah.
yeah.
The only closest thing we got to schoolboy title is that we can say 2007 Gavin Massey with the D Cup, but couldn't beat Manchester High School. So
Oh yeah,
that
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So you sleep well with that, eh? So we gonna beat you, but well, if that
yeah,
make you sleep better, then still you can go and hold on pan.
yeah, man. Fantastic team that with Ashton Bent and
Yeah.
Lindsay, all of them players. Yeah.
And the brother will play for Umberland. What name? Not him. What name?
Manzi.
Vanzi. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Congrats to Glenmuir and the first, your second major schoolboy title with your championship cup. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Kudos to you and your coaching staff. Job well done.
Yeah, man. That's
So,
Dean Brown, Deshaun Peck, Andrew Henry, Reeves Blake, Mr. Gart
yeah,
Young,
yeah.
Ashley
You guys,
Stevens.
you guys have
Yeah.
a good, yeah. You guys have a good thing going on there. Eh?
Yeah, we do. I think one of the big successes too for the program is we have managed to play in every schoolboy final over the last 3 years, except the Oliver Shield. So went to under 14 final, under 16 final, Ben Francis final, D Cup final, Champions Cup final. I think
Mm,
in 3 years that's a big thing for the school.
yeah,
And I figure in time gaining or garnering that are those experiences um will you'll start to speak about okay, we have won the under 16, won the under 14, won the Ben Francis Championship, Champions Cup, Doncaster Cup. But I view everything as a stepping stone. A long time Glenmuir hasn't been to a final or win a trophy. And I figure because you look at it for us at Glenmuir since I've been there, 2021 tough group. That's when the COVID year was played, shortened league. Tynan College in our group, Edwin Allen in our group. Lennon had a good team that year too. Pushed us really hard. We never make it out of the group because it was just the two group winners. So we finished about 2 points behind or 1 point behind second place. Then the next year you can look at the team getting better, win the Ben Francis Cup. And then the next year the team got better, went to the League Cup finals, won the Champions Cup, as I say. So I believe in outlining a vision for the team. Again, even following up from some of the lessons that I learned from UA outside of the classroom, like God, Professor Shirley saying, in 4 years we want to be at this point, and that's how I look at it. Because one of the things when I went to Glenmuir was to, so this was 2020 during the COVID, no football play that year, but looked at the team or the players available and say, okay, 2023, that serious was a plan. If I had the document here, I could share it with you that 2023 we would have won the Doncaster Cup. And we kind of finished close to that.
close, but you still achieve something anyway,
Yeah,
and
because
which is
again, look at Professor Shirley ambition. In 4 years, he want UA to be in the Premier League. You
yeah,
will reach the Premier League, but it wasn't 4 years. Turn out
right,
will be 6 years. And
right.
and it we had I know this person from I was a student athlete at UA. She was doing her PhD in sports psychology there, Dr. Olivia Rose. And she kind of introduced us to goal setting and having plans, and then you have action items in terms of how you can reach the plans. And I think that's a big thing, because not every time you set a target, you can hit exactly on the target, but you may be off by a year or something. But it's really important and powerful when you can put up big objective and then like reverse engineer it. What are the steps we're gonna need to take to reach here? So
Yeah. One I think Coach Pierce want to ask you before,
mm-hmm.
kind of move on. And the resume you have where you're the head of the coaching for JFF,
Coaching education.
coaching education, right? What qualification step you would have gone through to get that position then, or certified? What step you went through?
Before assuming that position,
Yeah, for you to get qualify for that position, to say okay, you become the head of the JFF coaching.
all right, so it's a new post. The JFF has never had one because that role was kind of absorbed under the TD's role, right?
Hmm.
Um, and put it this way, people just believe in me, and I figured that okay, I must live up to your belief then. But since then, I've done the CONCACAF trainers. We're currently doing the FIFA Coach Educators Pathway, which is a 5-phase program. We have already done 3 phases to it, and now we're in the mentorship part of it. And then you'd have an assessment later on this year to pretty much certify you as coach educator, which means wherever in the world you go, this is recognized. So it's not like you're a Jamaica coach educator. You are a FIFA coach educator recognized all around the world.
But when you say we, who is we?
We meaning, all right, so they did it in Jamaica.
I'm assuming you're not the only one when you say we,
Yes.
as Jamaican then. So who is the we with you? Who else?
Right. The we would be Xavier Gilbert is one. Marlon Hilton is one. Eric Radamakas is one. Rudolph Speed is one. Jermaine Thomas is one. Lawrence Garrix is one. Meron Gordon and Vassar Reynolds were to be part of the program, but they had some national team commitments at the same time, because 2 of the phases so far required 100% attendance. And I think at the time, Jamaica was playing Canada. When we had that rain out game and then went to Canada and beat Canada 3-2.
Yeah.
So that's why Meron Gordon could be on that program. Yeah.
Right. So you guys, okay, so you put it like this, you guys done been the top qualified then, right? So in other words, now you guys are responsible of handing out coaching license then to
Conducting
individual,
coaching classes. Yeah.
conducting or teaching or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
to other individual in Jamaica to get
Mm-hmm.
their what, C license or D license.
D, C, and B.
So you would teach for a person to obtain their D license, and then
C
from the,
license
and
and B license.
which one would be first?
Oh, D is
So,
the
all right,
entry level.
say I'm leaving GC Foster College, right? And I want to go
Uh-huh.
into coaching. I don't want to go into
Yeah.
coaching. Which one would I go? Which one of those licenses first would I have to go through?
All right.
What
So
would be the
if
process?
if if you graduate from GC Foster with a degree in, say, physical education,
Yeah.
or you have, is it associate degree in coaching they have, or football coaching, then you'll start at the C level.
Okay. So you see level is like an entry level.
No, the D
No, the
level is
D
the
the D
entry.
is the
Yeah,
entry level.
D is the entry level.
Okay.
But
Okay.
like as I said, there are certain exemptions for persons to go start at the C.
Oh,
Like as
okay.
I say,
Okay.
a
Okay.
GC Foster phys ed
Graduate
degree.
would skip the D
Yeah.
and go straight to the C.
Because part of your syllabus or curriculum to finish that program at GC Foster would have incorporated some of the same concepts that we would have teach at the D level.
Okay. So once I obtain the C now, then I could go on
Mhm.
to the B next.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
So if I'm a person, if I'm an individual who have the D and I want to go to the C, what's the requirements? What's the procedure?
You
Say
apply for one of the courses. I don't know how I can. Saudi, I can share the calendar with you after this. Just shoot me an email, a WhatsApp with the email, Saudi, and your network of persons. You can send the calendar of events and also the application links. So the application forms are done like through Google Forms, and you
right.
just look through, see which one is closer to you, which one more convenient, apply for one of the courses.
So I would go on the Google form, apply for the C license, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then individual like all those applications would have come back to you for you to
It will
review it,
come to our department, yes.
and then from then you are you guys gonna select? It's not automatic that I'm gonna get chosen, right? Is it that way?
No, it could be, because here what? Like one of the things we try to do is, so we're doing 8 C license this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could be more if there's the demand when we finish these 8, we say, oh, we need bam, whatever. All right. And when we're selecting this 8, it's not all in Kingston because the entire Jamaica don't live in Kingston. So we kind of regionalize it. Okay, there's Manchester, there's Clarendon, St. Catherine, St. James, St. Anne, there's Portland, there's Kingston to capture the entire population. I see somebody say, what if I have an advanced level? If you have the advanced level 1, you go to the C license. If you have the advanced level 2, we have an upgrade that you do 2 days and you get a C license.
Okay, nice.
Right. Okay. So basically, you guys will determine that. Say in Clarendon, then you're gonna give away 8 in Clarendon, right?
We're gonna give so one of the 8 courses this year is in Clarendon.
Oh, one of the 8 courses.
Yeah, so 8 courses.
Mm-hmm.
There's Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Anne, Portland, 2 in Kingston, sorry, and St. James at different points of the year, at different months or dates in the year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it because I have a friend of mine who interested in the C license, but I'll come around back to that license later on, Coach Pierce.
No problem. I think you should try to enter the game too, man.
So I don't live here, I live in the diaspora.
Oh, still try in the diaspora, man. Start your coaching, man.
All right, good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, something for me to think about.
Yeah.
So, sorry, colleagues, but since we're on this, I don't know if Rankin and Stranger have anything to ask right now in terms of the coaching education. If not, if so, I'll allow you because I have something to ask. Read that.
Uh, in a way, yeah, bless up again, Coach P.
Lessons.
Yeah, man, congrats on your grab on the trophy, this year, the Champions Cup. And congrats on making the League Cup final as well,
Thank you, man.
What I want to say as well, the first time I saw you at work, you remember you went to Westmoreland to play film technical.
This year.
Yeah, this year, yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, this
Yeah.
season. All right. Yeah, school year.
This season, yeah, you were just finished. Rain out. Yeah. How was that game for you, Mr. Player? That's what I asked you. What was that game for you? Was it the first time you playing in conditions like that?
The first time this season, yes. But let me frame the context of that game for you.
Yeah.
So Saudi will remember 2022. Glenmuir would have had a good team too. We beat Stets in the first game at the round of 16. We drew with Mannings at Glenmuir. So we're on 4 points now, right?
Yeah.
I was got to play Edwin Allen down by Fogar Road. So we can win and go through, we can draw and go through, or we can lose by 1 goal and go through. Sorry, what happened in another game there?
I think two things I believe. You- I think fault shooting on your part and the conditions. And I
Of the
also
field.
believe that to some extent your team was too confident in that game.
Three possible results to go through, my boss. And we pick
Mm.
the fourth one whenever they're on the table.
Find the
And
table.
yeah, we lost by 2 and a piece of rain fall down the second half. And all right, so that happened. You live and learn. So we're in the
Yeah.
same situation again now. The next season, or this season we just finished, we played our first game. We drew with Garvey Maceo at Fogar Road again. We beat Port Antonio at Glenmuir. So we're going away to Froome now.
Yeah, man. I
And
was there.
we just need to draw to go through. And then the rain come down. Just like the year before, the rain come down. But you see, part of our growth and journey at Glenmuir is that we decided that no 2 year in a row the same thing would happen to us. So we kind of
Mhm.
took charge of our own destiny in that game. Because part of it as well, we knew the score in the next game, the Garvey game. Not that it mattered to us whether we got through, but in that we wanted to finish the group first place. So the rainy conditions made it difficult. But here what happened? We had a good start. We scored 6 minutes in. Kyle Garden goal. Had 2 clear chances that we should have scored. But it is what it is. We're leading 1-0. And let me tell you something. You see, Froome 2021-22 schoolboy season, the under 16 season that was played in this time of the year,
Yeah.
the semi-final teams from that competition that year was Garvey Maceo, Clarendon College, Glenmuir, Froome.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the same players that would have reached now 17 years old and like what Americans would call it junior year players, right? The semifinals from this DaCosta Cup, Garvey Maceo, Clarendon College, Glenmuir.
Mm-hmm.
Froome was that next team in that semifinal, the under 16, 2 or 3 years back. So we knew the quality of the Froome team that we would face. We knew it. We watched videos with them. We prepared for it, and we managed to shut them down. Because one thing with Froome, the Froome team, they are very good at set pieces. So we never wanted to give away anything, especially in the rain. Anything can happen. Set piece.
Anything bounce off.
But ironically, we who persons would say not so strong at set pieces, which is why we played a lot of short corners, people might ask. We scored from a set piece, a corner, 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last kick of the game, actually, they scored from one of the things they are
Scored on.
good at, a set piece from a corner. So that game, really intense game, really good Froome technical high school team. And I
Yeah.
think that's one of the teams to look out for 2024 schoolboy season. Froome. See, they made it to the Ben Francis Cup this year. When I spoke
Finals,
to
yeah.
one of the persons down here, including coach, they say, "Oh, Brethren, we are pull off a Glenmuir, we get knocked out of the D Cup, but we are make sure so we're going to win the Ben Francis Cup because the next year, when the team mature, we can come and do like what Glenmuir doing now." So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Lastly, now, I want to ask you until that circle back around. Um, I follow a lot of the JPL and a lot of the schoolboy football. What do you think personally? We know about the JPL's caliber, but a lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot, but some people would say the schoolboy football is just a normal co-curricular activity, right? But what do you think, seeing now, most of the high level coaches in Jamaica are taking up roles in these schoolboy football programs? How does it look for the league too, the schoolboy league?
It's very good. You look at it, you have 14 Premier League clubs now, right?
Yeah.
So even if you say a, a head coach and assistant coach go to a Premier League team, that's 28 coaches. We don't have a professional second tier, professional major leagues or so forth. You will find other coaches now going to what's the next best thing, the schoolboy leagues. And I think that has been one of the reasons why so many other schools are competitive at the schoolboy level, because they have good coaches. So whilst you might say, or people might say, the schoolboy football is not enough to develop the players to a international or world standard level, that's true. But at the same time, I think coaches are pushing the boundaries of player development at the school level, to try to get them to not say close to international, but better than they would have been just playing as extracurricular. Because for some, once the school football reach a certain stage, it's not extracurricular. And I can tell you, in Clarendon, it's not extracurricular any at all. Because when I look at the quality that in our group, Denby and Central and Old Harbour possess,
Yeah.
if you should say we're going to loan out Denby to a different parish this year, so they compete in a different group, they will top the group any day, or Central, or Old Harbour any day. So the quality in Clarendon is really, really, really good. There's a lot of factors. It's a population that is serious about football. They have good coaches. They have good young technical players. So some work is going on there at the school level, all across the
La,
island.
la, yeah. My last question for now. As I said, I was down there by Flume in Westmoreland. I think I saw your principal was there as well, right?
Yeah, she's at every game. Really
That's
passionate
the
and look
other question I was gonna ask. A fan told me that she's at every single game. That's a
every
very rare commodity in principals, you know. What's the
every single.
support like from her? Because I know that it's big to have the principals on board. But if she's at every game separate, what's the support like in general? Does she tell the students like, hey, school over half day, go and watch the game, or just stuff like that? What do you think about that?
No, I think she has to balance her both roles. Well, not both
Mm,
roles. Her job as a principal at school is it's an academic institution, and the football is just
right.
part of it. Because I don't call any player footballer. They are student athletes, are the simple boys, and she would be at every game. She support the team. She motivates the team. Um, and I think she's a really good figure to have for the boys in terms of, like how your parents you ask say, boy, you pick up a book for an evening or things like that, or maybe at school, or more come
Right.
check the report or at school, or she does that. So she hard on them, and I think, to be honest, a lot of persons have commented that this is or these are some really disciplined boys to have at the school level. So big up Dr. Smalling, really passionate, really um lovely role model for students at Glenmuir High School.
Appreciate it. All right, Mr. Page. I'll circle back. Huh?
No problem ranking.
Um,
Unseen.
in, big up
Bless up,
Mr.
Unseen.
Peart.
Bless up.
Big up yourself, Mr. Peart.
Blessing stranger.
Congratulations, and beating Clarendon College this season, this past season, the only team have done that for the season,
Yeah.
Tell him
This
and
Yeah.
see my support, man.
But
Yeah, man,
no,
he's a
if him
Clarendon.
watch the show, if Mr. Pete ever watch the show, him supposed to know say stranger Clarendon, man. Isn't it? All the way, all over, me support all Clarendon team, but Clarendon College, I'm a number one team, but I support all Clarendon team,
Okay.
Yeah, but one of my question is, are you involved in the development process in the football in Glenmuir like under 14, 16.
Yes, not to actively coach them every day, because we would appoint coaches, and one of the things you want to do is maybe set out a base parameter, and then they give people the scope to grow. Because as I mentioned about my development, that was one of the things that really helped me a lot, where people would entrust you to do the job they want you to do. So that's important.
Okay. Is it you is the only team I've ever coached in the Premier League? Or you coached different places in the Premier League before?
No, just UA.
Just you?
From 2015 to 20.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
As assistant coach and then head coach.
Okay. That's it for now. Unseen.
Well, before Unseen comes in, I have a question. I want to pose something. I'm happy that Unseen comes in now as it relates to the coaching education, Sir Peart. There are a lot of complaint of some young coaches who want to get into the D and C license, but the information was the organizers, maybe through your office, would have sent the invitation to the parish association, who would have actually selected or recommend coaches from their parishes to attend these seminars. What's the status of it? Because you make mention of you can just apply it. Unseen is one of them who I've heard complain. How that works? What's the relationship with the invitation or the application and the parish associations?
Relationship. I just say we try to, as best as possible, publicize the course, our courses. So platforms like these can go a far way in helping to promulgate the message at once, and so persons don't feel that they are being ostracized or not welcome to the courses. So that's always my thing. I've done one course with Unseen so far, and I know he has been looking forward to doing his C license, which should be coming up anytime now soon. So yeah, that's it. But I think you're right, Saad, in terms of we can use more platforms, social media, um, vlogs like these to, our shows like these to push the message in terms of, okay, this is a calendar and these are the this is how you apply for courses, things like that. So because I think in this day you have a lot more persons who want to get involved in coaching and want to go through the right channels in terms of understanding whether or not they're doing it right all along, or do they need to change anything or do anything better. So the only to me, the greatest benefit will just simply be we improve in the landscape of Jamaican football. So the more coaches we can have that are certified, and the more coach, because not everybody can move up to being a pro license coach or whatever, but some people may just want to have the certification at a C level. So okay, I want to coach my major league team, or I want to coach my schoolboy U14, 16 team. But at least you know that the development is being done by somebody who has gone through the right channel. Just like how you're not going to send your child to any school. If you hear that, is some persons who aren't trained teachers delivering classes there. It's the same thing we want to do for the football coaching.
Okay. All right. Before Unseen comes, let me just take you from the chat. Sheldon Boucher, he's saying that. So what if I have I know you mentioned it, but just to go again, sir, so everybody can get this one. What if I have an advanced level 1? Which next level would I need to do?
C license.
Okay, the C license. He also, but I have a level 1, yeah, and I not even know when the course are being done. Same voucher.
Yeah.
So
So, as I said, the calendar for this year has been. Let me say
if
let
you
me
can
send.
send the email
Oh,
now, I'll be able to
yeah.
post it.
You send me the email now.
All right.
So I'll do it.
So Sheldon, I will post the calendar and then you can make your move
And
from there.
yeah.
I said, Mr. Peart, my primary school down the road don't have a league. Can you help us? Listen, you see, I never want to tell you exactly what I talk about, but he goes further, sir, to say that this is the list of schools, sir. 4 Pass, Asburn Store, Tollgate, Rock Primary, Scott Pass Primary. These schools major feeding tree in the 90s.
All right. So 4 Pass, Osborne Store, Tollgate, Rock. Is it Rock River or Rock? That's Rock Primary. Scott's Pass. I know of 4 Pass, Osborne Store, Tollgate. All right. Let me take a.
Serious, you say, please help.
No. Serious thing. if you have a phone number for him, we can sort it out.
All right. So RR, give me a link or send me a number. RR, send a number, we give it on to Mr. Peart right away, boss. All right. So we're working on it, RR. This is how Saudichress show operates. All the information you want, the knowledge, of course, you can get it right here. You see how fast thing around for your RR? You need, well,
Exactly.
you're the monitor for the show, even though you start come a class late. Yeah, man, Mr. John Green used to live there, of course. All right. So, Unseen, welcome again, sir.
Thanks, Saudichress, and big up to the panelists, Mr.
Best of
Peart.
answers.
Big up
No, so
yourself.
big up to me, teacher Peart.
Yeah,
Don't be
man,
like that.
the big man, the principal, coach.
Big up to your principal.
Yeah, man, the big man. Yeah, so first though, I want to ask Mr. Peart, pertaining to schoolboy football, and beating Clarendon College as one. Lot of persons can't talk about beating Clarendon College. You understand me? Me can't talk about it. You can't talk about it because we beat them.
Who beat them? We who?
We
Just
might
let me
be.
ask.
2019.
Okay, well done, Ranky.
Oh. No, then hold
We who Unseen?
Charlie
Charlemagne.
When they beat them 2019?
The prestigious cup wasn't those in the seasons in the season, but it was a prestigious States Cup final.
Oh, come on.
You man
Really,
win,
Unseen?
Mr. Lee.
That's
You
why
man win,
Mr.
Mr.
Lee. Not everybody can talk about beating these
Come on,
teams that are easy
Unseen,
teams
man.
to beat.
That's like
Mr. Lee,
a low blow, bro. That no count, man. Come on, man.
Mr. Lee, you
Unseen.
win game fair and square, Mr. Lee.
Unseen. I'm not
Anyway,
going there with
Yeah,
you.
man.
Continue.
Ranky was there. Ranky was
Unseen.
there.
Let the
Ranky
man
knows how
You know,
enjoy.
to
easy, you know, Unseen.
Let the
Ranky
man
pull out the
enjoy.
beat.
I was there.
I tell Mr. Lee. Anyway, now
You win game, Mr. Lee.
for the second
Go
game,
ahead,
though,
sir.
Sir Peart, though, what went wrong? Like, I just think, I think personally, tactically, the approach of the game wasn't the right one in terms of, trying to keep possession of the ball in your own half. I think punching the ball to Kirky and having Adji's 1v1 most of the time would benefit. And I saw that Kirky got the upper hand on him at a couple of them and he could have scored, but he missed one of the chances. But I think more of that ball would create more opportunity for him in the game. What's your take?
Yeah, you're right. In terms of the playing over their first or second line of pressure. Yeah. The thing pop up on screen, but let me not get it. Yeah. Big up Mr. McTavish, man. Good coach up by Excelsior. All right. So yeah, Unseen, the playing past that first or second line would help. But yes, you're right. The only drawback to that is so many times you have to understand how your team is built, and not all the time you can play that way, because we played some, we win some, but when you look at it, a youth like Cummins out of the game totally when we were playing those balls over the top. Maybe that require a different skill set sort of player, but it's something to look at and something to ensure that, not to ensure, but can we devise another plan should we encounter something like that again in the future? You understand? Yeah.
I
Because
don't think you have a lot of worry this next season still. I think your team will be the team to beat. The team that everybody wants to beat next
really,
year. Yeah, man.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah, man.
Alright,
Remember, so we're in the schoolboy football thing, so we are doing investigation. So we are find out which team, lose the least amount of players. And, Glenmuir have a good system, so you're gonna keep most of the players.
how many we
Permanently.
lose?
I think you lose the captain. I think you lose Cummings. The goalkeeper, that's 3, and the number 4. And the number 4.
when I investigate him, Mr. Peart.
I mean, the man since both, man. Information.
We kind of lose a little bit more than that, except Cummins. No.
Okay.
Cummins is soon turn 18. Yeah.
He can play, but will he be playing?
Well, that's the next thing too. Yeah, we have a lot of players who have the age to play, but you're right.
We take up a scholarship going overseas.
I want to say this, Sir Peart. I'm big on education, and all of us love the youth and strive in education. But for years, I know Glenmuir is not one of the schools who will try to hold back the players to complete their age, their 19 at age. Mm-hmm. I'm sure based on the academic background of Glenmuir, that's the number one priority, which I believe is most schools, but as it relates to football or sports, blending the academy. I am so much fear. I don't know. You have the link. You know what? You have the contact. You are the boss down there as it relates to football. But sometimes when I look at the Glenmuir teams over the years, I'm fear for some of these players for you to have that group, because the youths will move on academically. How difficult it is to get through to these youth and the parents, which is the number one source in their life.
No, it's not so difficult now, because we get a lot of buy-in from stakeholders, players, and parents. And one of the things is we try to put players or give them the opportunities that will make them succeed in life. So if an opportunity come now for you at 16 or 17, you might have 2 years leaving high school according to ISA's criteria. Mm-hmm. But if you guys say, right now, you don't want to pass up on this opportunity. Or you might figure that, okay, based on what you have been offered now in terms of scholarships or whatever, do you have the age where maybe you can put in a better season than whatever you did before, even if you have the best season, to get a better offer? So it's about trying to find players the right opportunities. And big up Mr. Reynolds.
Yeah, man.
Big up Bassa.
not to just say, okay, jump at anything or the first offer you get or so. But one of the things I must be grateful for, Saudi, is that we have received a tremendous degree of buy-in from parents and from players. And I think that makes you value and respect that responsibility a little bit more, that we have to do things in the best interest of the boys.
True. I love that. Really love that. All right. So, Unseen, where you finish your...
Yeah. I think that's it so far. Soon get some
and just one thing with Unseen, why we draw the second half 2-2, yeah, man.
Which of the second?
You actually did well in the second half.
The D Cup final.
Yeah, man, that was the
In terms of,
positive.
in terms of tactics in the second half, though. But all right. So when I watch a game, I say, all right, 1 goal score upon 10 more. All right, that's okay.
The killer unseen was the third goal. Let me tell you, like, it is so much fine margins, is it?
Yeah, at that level, yeah.
Because it's so much fine margin because the game finish, you're not interested to even watch one ball kick around, right? But seriously. Tell you a joke. So the game finish and this is Saturday. So Monday I have a CONCACAF coach educators in Miami. So Monday, so go to the airport now and a man see me and say, "Yo, coach, you run with you CCB too."
I left the country.
I said, "No, man, I just go up the road and come back." I said, "No, coach, man, the school, man. Them man, they did go win 3 trophies this year." He was so certain about it. Him say, "Oh, you so I see the doubt in the man them mind and them come back strong. So big up still and whatever." So that's just it. But what I say, Saudi unseen, it's such fine margins. So a week or so past now, you can watch back the game and you can watch back other games, right? And in the whole watching of games, you kind of lead to the Champions Cup final. And you look at the Champions Cup final, they scored early again, like 17 minutes in. But if you look at the time before that, Kaheem Dixon get a chance where every other game scored that in the first 16 minutes, I talk about, Antoine Goodnow, our goalkeeper, was really instrumental because what a shot from Christopher Hull that he saved was like just his right amount of force on his hand, stop the ball. If the hand was weaker, the ball got under and go in the goal. But yeah, the D Cup final. The D Cup final now, Bridget, is everything that them kick score. And I think if you think about the game or reflect on the game, 2-0 down, 3 minutes, we got a chance. You remember? We got a chance at the other end to go 2-1.
Yes, man, you should have scored.
Which should have changed the game, but we missed, unfortunately. And guess what happened? They went up the field from the goal kick and score 3-0. We build up a play, went through now, get a chance 1v1 with the goalkeeper. The youth block it, the ball, go to the left back and play, come, score. And but so many times you just have to look at things analytical. There are areas that we could have done much better, but we will grow from it. And I think looking at everything and say, let's try and get better and better every year. So
at the end of the day, still Sir Peart, they did well with that team, the team where you have, because most of the top players are young players, like in terms of experience in the league comparing to a Clarendon team. Yeah. True. So at the end of the day, the Clarendon, because you see, they know the ins and the outs, and when to really focus more and which match to go hard in. And they know a lot of those stuff because the culture that way. So it was I think it was difficult, but the ball around, and I think football played out in the first final, the Champions Cup final. But the second one, man, boy, then when tell the man them say, I'm a style.
We have a question on the finish.
Just one thing before ranking is that when you talk to some of the Clarendon players after, like during the All D Cup or whatever thing, right? Their only goal this year was, okay, they have won the Champions Cup before, then win the D Cup before, then win the Oliver Shield before. but they have never won all three same time. So that was their only motivation. So now imagine losing the Champions Cup, which means any aspirations of winning all three out. And imagine losing the Dakar Cup final with the field. So that was their motivation in terms of we need to go hard in this. So yeah. Rankin, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just want to pick your brain in a scenario. So let's say you have the Champions Cup final with
Mm-hmm.
Tyne College. You lose that 6-2, right? Then you have
Mm-hmm.
the Dakar Cup final coming up. So
Mm-hmm.
remember, you lose the Champions Cup 6-2, and then you have the Dakar Cup coming up now. What would you
Mm-hmm.
say I do to motivate those boys to be up for the final, the Cup final, with the same Clarendon College? So I'm
All
just
right.
reversing the scenario.
No, yeah, which is a good question because all right. Maybe we'd have follow a little bit of the 2015 model. When I was at GSC,
Hmm.
we lost the Champions Cup, formerly Super Cup final, 4-0
to
to St.
George's.
George's College,
Judges.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And well, it kind of different because guess what? The Super Cup final was played, then the Manning Cup semi-final was played in between to the Manning Cup final. So GSC actually had a game in between to prepare, which kind of make it a little bit different. But listen, yes, motivation would have to be really, really on point, and even the analysis would have to be so on point that when you go on the field, it's quick on the fly. So it's a good scenario to pose. Many persons mentioned it before. But yeah, and listen, it's also two teams at different cycles. You understand when I say different cycles, meaning okay, we can have 5 members of our starting team coming or 6 coming back next year. I don't think it's the same for Clarendon. Maybe it's only number 10, Glenmuir, and number 20, the defender from Porus, and the goalkeeper, 3. So you're looking at a very mature team versus one that's coming up. So kind of support unseen thing a little bit where you say we can be the team where everybody want to beat, but
You're not
yeah,
bored.
All
it's
right.
different. It's different cycles.
True.
Sir Peter, I realize the panelists brought you right back to the schoolboy football competition. Coach Vassal is here. But before I go, let me just big up Dalton, of course, our fan favorite. And people, please hit the like button as soon as you come in. Interesting interview, interesting show going on, one that you may never see again, right? And I'm saying to you, share. There are some friends out there who are missing it. Let them come in. We have a little time to go. But anyhow, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. RR. There's no RR, put this one, Sir Peart. Jamaica clap and pep in the building. So I guess that is you and Vasla, the Jamaican clap and pep. I don't know which one is which.
No man, it's Pep and Club never worked together yet, man. And
And yeah, Vasla work together.
yeah, we had a really good time with the under 17 team and also 2 the
Under 15.
U15 boys, which I think for me is one of the biggest achievements for me. Taking the under 15 boys to the semi-final of the CONCACAF championships, U15 championship. And let me go back to one thing that I say about goal setting, right?
Yes.
All right. So Jamaica had never made it out of the group stage of the CONCACAF under 15 championship. Right?
Wonderful. And congrats on that.
Never. Good. So, me and Vassano learn that we can work together for the U15. But hear what? We always start with the big picture in mind. Right? So we say, what's our objective? What our objective can be? And we present it that, listen, we never make it out of the group. We want to be amongst the top 4 teams. So very explicit, top 4 teams. And we get the group, we learn that we in group with Saudi Arabia, we in group with El Salvador, we in group with Mexico. Top 2 teams go through, blah, blah, blah. So the entire preparation from the first meeting we had with the boys, because I knew a lot of them from the U14 the year before, even though we never went to the competition. The first meeting we had with the boys, we had a presentation and we got through some core values we want from them and what our objective is. We show them the camp dates, we show them even when we want to, when we get camp, whether it can be weekend camps, it can be extensive camps, and we just keep hammering on what the objective is, So we make it to the semifinals and we beat Honduras in the quarterfinals, make it to the semifinals. And I realize, say, the performance, like, we now get that zip there from the boy, them, like what we get in the group stage or in the quarterfinals or even the practice games against Trinidad or the schoolboy teams in Jamaica. And we lost the semi-final to Mexico. And then we had the third and fourth place playoff now. And we need to go home with a medal. But not how you say, go home with a medal. With the youth, them just couldn't. And then in speaking to a sports psychologist at the end, sports psychologist coach, what was the objective again? Want to be amongst the top 4? The youth them at the top 4. Mentally, they hit a barrier.
And that's what you want to go.
They couldn't go no more. They couldn't have gone anymore and say, oh, real talk. So again, it's goal setting. We set that objective game. The top 4, we hit the top 4, and Amanda say, oh. Because in talking to some of the boys after, the man say, oh, coach, we have never been under such a firm, strict regime, because we're always pointing out, if you want to achieve at the international level, especially, there are some things you can't do. And some people would say, oh, there are 10 better boys in Jamaica who never met the U15. That's so true. But we try to cover as many boys as possible, bring them into the camp setting as possible, as best as possible. But listen, some people just couldn't adapt to the culture of being disciplined, following rules, having coaches who are very demanding of you. Because a lot of the times, if you ask some of them, they maybe don't want to give up the training too hard. We're going in on too much details, but we knew what we wanted to achieve, and we also knew what's on the end in terms of waiting for them. What's the competition gonna be like? So when you're prepared for a competition where you have 3 games in 3 days, it's not easy. With the first game in August 6th, Independence Day. So right away, culturally, you have to do well on that day. Then you have a game the next day, and then you have a game the next day. And also the tournament rules say everybody must play a minimum 70 minutes.
Oh, so it's a development thing.
It's a development. You have to rotate the team now and calculate, okay, can I afford to play this player this game and this player that game? Like, you have to be thinking about all of them things. So from start, we knew we wanted the gap between your best player and your not so great player not to be any wide at all, because everybody will have to be called upon to play the minimum 70 minutes. And I think we achieved that really, really, really well in terms of closing that gap between the great player and the not so great player. But really, really good.
Coach, as the head of coaching education, you have just brought to us a very, very important point. And for those of us who love coaching, those of us who are coaching, those of us who love football and want to guide youngsters and guide coaches, the point that you made of goal setting, I think that's a very big learning experience, because top 4, the boys reach where they want to be.
We take that brother has to heal up. You know
Big
him?
up yourself, Baran. Hey, listen, me know say you have to keep wide from me, you know, Sir Watson, but looking out, you know, the invitation coming in. He was on the show last year, man. But I
Really?
know, yes, man.
Oh, come on, almost said that's a world premiere, you know, man.
Yeah, Baran, you know, tell him, but him a run wide now because guess what? The big things we are going on Jamaica, me I try to reach out to him and him not answer. Just like,
Oh,
but Sir Watson, know yourself, man. Big up yourself, big coach, big mentor. Oh, yeah, so man. That's man, trust me. And the
yeah,
general,
man.
man. The general. Yes, sir. So, unseen, we need to put our boys, or student athlete, or footballers. Where do we want them? So, if we say top four, that they are going to get. So, at
Yeah.
this stage, we can now say we need to win this competition.
Yeah,
It's a psychological impact on the players as well. Right?
yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. It's about program, like outline what you want, like year one, what the game look like in year two, what the game look like. Okay, when can we really, like, looking at what you have in year one and knowing the shelf life, can we compete at the end of these players' shelf life, or do I know say again take year four before we can reach there? And every year you also have goals, like you have to set it, and reverse engineering, like what are the steps you're going to take, or what are the steps that, because listen, everybody wants something, and that's fine. But with players or with anything, it's about, are you willing to do what it takes to get what you want? That's the difference, I think, with a lot. Because again, the the education we got from even the U15 tournament. Because one of the things like me and Vassal always do is if we play first, we can stay and watch the second games. And after every game we play, we're gonna watch, we not watch, we're gonna talk to the opposing team coach as best as possible.
Wow.
Yeah, we always try to do that. So some we have to speak like a little broken Spanish, and some thankfully understand English. But like even Mexico, we played Mexico the first game, which was a game that we rotated the players to meet the minimum 70 minutes competition rules. We lost 2-1, and Mexico would have killed us the first half, like kill us. If Mexico had Kahim Dixon, then we would have been down 4-0. Seriously. But we hung on in that game. I think it was 1-0 we were trailing, and then we made an adjustment where they were using outside a lot to kill us, and we decided, okay, we're gonna go with a back five just to solve that. They have 4 up top and moving a whole heap of movements. We'll go back 5, and they have the midfield line of 4 to support the fullbacks. On the sides, we said we wanted 3 every time with protection inside, and that managed to work out very well. We get ourselves back in the game 1-1. Then we conceded at the end and lost 2-1. So the semi-final game against Mexico now, that the number 6 player was going to be the key player, and the 2 attacking midfielders with him, key players. And we kind of made a switch. Normally we'd play like 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1 in defending. And we kind of really mix it up attacking, where we had even a fullback going inside the midfield and play. So the second game we played a 4-4-2 diamond. So we had somebody on the Mexico number 6 player right throughout the game. They could not play. And then we conceded from a set piece, or 2 set pieces, one first half, second ball, and then second half they had a free kick. So after the game, we continued the customary tradition of talking to opposing team coaches, asking about the games, or even ask about our approach, and we told them about their approach and what we saw. And when we told them, we say, "Oh, your game plan for this game was really fantastic," and just one like comment to improve on, like, we were trying to play too direct in terms of when we got the ball, we play into the two strikers. Because we are two up top versus their two. Because sometimes they commit everybody and leave us 2v2. And,
Okay.
and the Mexican is saying, yo, after you try that 2 or 3 times, yo, just tell the player, say, yo, just keep ball. Try going after the goal, because they figured that they were under a lot of pressure, and if we could have mixed it up a little bit more, it would have caused them a lot more problems. But he's saying, yo, that comes with more time and more practice for the players. Because listen, when we told the Mexican guy, Luis Pena, the assistant coach, the head coach was this guy who played for Mexico in the 06 World Cup. He said, like, how many games you guys played coming into this tournament? I would say, we played 2 international games against Trinidad. I play most against work. And he said, wow, like, we went to Italy for 3 weeks. We went to South America for X time. So he was saying, like, yo, for these players to be competing with us at this level, that's really good for them. So, like, I like me and Vasila say, oh, this is what it takes to reach that level there in terms of players have to be really focused. We know what the goal is. They keep reiterating the goal right throughout and make the small steps that will get you to where you want to go. So, really great experience.
I tell Peart,
Sir Peart.
I don't know how to ask, but you talk about broken Spanish.
Uh-huh.
Let me hear something, man.
No, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like me amo es Andrew Peart, soy entrenador del equipo americano sub-15. So I am the coach of the Jamaican under-15 team. Yeah, like it's as it come up, you try remember a little bit of your Spanish where you do at high school or where you do at university. But I think with the Spanish is, or any language, I just think is immersion. Like, if you know your life really depend on learning this to eat or learning this to get by, then you learn it. But I think with a little more time, I can manage or find a way around. Yeah.
That was very good, man.
Well, let me take some chat and see. Now coming to you, Trevor. Yeah, man, Trevor, we taking the building. Yeah, man, bless up, Trevor. Saying bless up the panel and your distinguished guests. Big up yourself. RR, continue to say top quality in the building. Like up the channel, people. People, 38 inside now. Hit the like button, man. Double up the like button right away. I know that we're going 140 odd views so far, but consistently we're having 38. But you need to hit the like button and share. Let us continue. Big up the great Barry Watson coming from Trevor. You know, Trevor used to play for my Gully too, you know, boss. So I think, yeah, man, them call him Toad.
And I remember. But
all right. You must see you now, so he probably remember you. Trevor, you need to click and come in so the man can see the boss, brother. Call him Skipper. So
yeah.
There's this one thing Dallas is saying to Coach Andrew. Do you think a schoolboy team can do very well without recruiting or a permanent dorm?
If they can do well without a dorm.
And also recruiting.
No.
No, the recruit.
No,
remember, all right, the ISA rule is 3 players, right? Nice rule. But you have to recruit somewhere, like people know grade 7 and develop your own players. So I think for like Kingston teams, some of them is easier to fast operate without a dorm because they may live within
traveling
one
distances
or one bus off. But I think for rural teams, it's a difficult ask. Yeah, it's pretty difficult.
So you have a dorm at Glenmuir?
Yes.
Nice.
That was
for the entire year?
In season.
Oh, just for the season? Okay. All right, thank you. Sir, you know what happened now? I want to ask this question before. I don't want to forget it. But you mentioned how close you and Vassal work. I want you to let the secret out of the bag now. What did you do to trick Vassal in that championship semifinals?
Just have better penalty kickers.
You both know each other so much. Tell me.
Yeah. And listen, you see, it was such a good game because both teams kind of play a certain style. And I can publicly say, I tell Vassal about this already, and I can publicly say to him that, like, I give him extra stripes, is it?
Mm-hmm.
For the way I see him, I wouldn't say transform KC because it's his first year, but transform his way of playing so much that sometimes I wonder if Vassal was like a counter-attacking dude who play high intensity football and know him. Listen, when we about to play KC, it's like such a joy sitting and watching. Okay, KC versus Dintil, and how KC like bait Dintil to come in the build up and get by them. I think it was the second goal or so KC scored. Fantastic. KC versus Mona, and people say Mona is one of the teams who put pressure in the offensive team first third a lot. And the way I look at how KC play with the 3 center backs out, and sometimes they bring the 2 midfielders close, or sometimes then pull them wide apart. And now it's a decision-making game. I think that this is Vassal win, DaCosta Cup, Walker Cup, all them sort of things. I think this achievement with KC is his biggest achievement. Because if you look at even the semi-final of the Manning Cup, down 2-0 in 15 minutes, come back, draw the game, lose on penalties. But the way KC play, really, 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 really good.
So
And I think that's one of the big things, man.
Vassal response and not trick the match draw.
Exactly.
But you're saying to us all the moves, put it this way, and all the tactics that you knew from Vassal are what you expected from Vassal. It was a different tactics came to you in that game.
No, not a different one. It's just, listen, 2 teams with similar styles. No, here well. It's just about execution on the day. And listen, tactically, a set up a game is a framework. Tactics. The individual qualities are different because they had good players on the wings. Okay, we had Cummins on the wing, but we also have good central midfielders, Jason, Kyle, those sort of players through the middle of the field. Denzel Watson. But I think it was really, really a good game from both teams, yeah.
Okay, very good. And senior, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to add to what Peart said about Buster, because I've been watching Buster since lately from the coaching courses, coming in and stuff. I've been watching and looking at the coaches, because you're going to go against them in a game or so. So yeah, you need to find out like what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and stuff like that. Yeah, so I've been watching some of the games, and I watched a game with him when he was at Manchester under 16 versus Glenmuir. I was there watching that game about 2 seasons ago. Yeah, before
2021,
I move on. Yeah.
What was the result of that game?
That game, I think he was leading that game, and then Peart come back and beat him. He was leading.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's 1-0 Manchester. Glenmuir need to win. Manchester need to draw.
Yeah.
1-0.
Man.
No, again, I tell you about the quality of like sometimes games are decided by not by coaches. Games are decided sometimes. Yes,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like 98 minutes or it's 40-40 half time play. So 88 minutes, 1-0 Manchester. Boom. One time I you do Mark Orion. What's the punch score? 2 goals.
All right. So in that game, when I said, John, Busternals, hard and intensity, robust, long ball, to the striker, and then I say, we might get the better of Glenmuir, though we have tried to pass the ball and so on. So and then I said, okay, that's how him play. Now watching KC, a totally different ball game. So I said, wait, him change the script now. So different as so. And then people I try to trick me. I say, boy, KC now have no quality. And I'm still I say, but you know them people are wicked. I mean, I look on the team and I said that this team actually can make a shot. Yeah, this team actually can make a shot. With the number 9, the other player we're playing the wing from
the number 2.
Number 2,
the centre back.
The 8 from Harborview, as I mentioned. So
a couple player who played with Whisper the year before too on the team as well. And those boys look like they wanted to prove a point as well. And they really stuck to the task. So draw with Mona, who was a hired machine team, was a good one for them, although Mona missed some chances. But yeah. Next question though, Peart. You mentioned about the Mexican coach asking you like what was your games before coming into the competition and so on. My question is, do you think that if you guys had the preparation like them, how could you be going to that competition, and what is stopping the proper preparation? Because I think over the years Jamaica has failed to prepare properly.
No, I think
as well too.
All right. While we all right, this is one of the things too. Mexico is the richest confederation, richest MA in CONCACAF, right? So they can afford that with ease. And then this now is one of the drawbacks to living on an island compared to, let's speak like Luxembourg, which is a team that I think is moving from a lower tier European team to a middle tier European team, right? In terms of them football. Luxembourg can get up in a bus, drive 2 hours, then reach Belgium. Them can play anybody over there. Them can drive south, reach Germany, or they can drive west and reach over into France, all within 2 hours. So they can get games, which don't cost a lot by driving a bus. Live on an island now, either go take a boat, which can take up a whole heap of your time, or you can pay for air travel, which is living in the Caribbean. It's very expensive. So that's one of the drawbacks. But what we tried to do was play some of the better under-19 schoolboy teams. So we played a lot of schoolboy games. We played Clarendon College, by the way, and drew 0-0. So Kaim Dixon never scored on us. Big achievement. So those are some of the ways we try to and just have consistent camps from March coming down to the tournament. So it was about training frequently rather than training in one big block before the tournament. And one of the things we try to minimize as best as possible, we went to Trinidad, as I said, for 2 games, was not to accumulate a lot of fatigue going into the tournament. So the way we structured our training cycles was as such that not to overburden the players mentally and physically, because we wanted them to be hitting the right heights when we reach Dominican Republic for the tournament. Yeah, but
Okay.
It's gonna take some more time, more effort in terms of funding resources to get to the level where we can play 10 games. It can happen over time, but you see, the thing is that sometimes you have to have teams that perform with minimum or minimal resources to get the ball rolling. So I think that's it.
Okay. And I also think that if we could mimic in our preparation, mimic our competition and put it in our your preseason and mimic the competition, you start
so
so you actually get that.
Yeah, so I think a week before we went to Trinidad, we mimic the CONCACAF tournament schedule. So
okay,
match today, match tomorrow, match the day after.
Yes.
Take a break, a match after.
So it would pressure your staff to come up with ideas as quick as possible. So you actually understand what you'll do in the competition. come up with like a surprise on you. You understand?
Yeah, true.
Peart, aspirant coaches are here, aspirant coaches in the diaspora, also here in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
High school football right now, it seems like it is stepping up, looking like our own pro league in Jamaica, based on the hype, based on the quality of players, the quality of coaches, the infrastructure that some schools are trying to put in place, the programs, the structure. Where do we start? I am a coach at school A in the rural, deepest part of Trelawney. Where do I start as a coach? How do I put a structure in place? Coming from you, the sports, the man who deal with coaching education, tell me what to do in a nutshell to start putting a serious structure at my school.
All right, so you identify that you have some players.
Yes.
All right, let's say your school never play the Costa Cup or...
But I want to put, we play, but we just play to
All right,
compete.
you played, no problem. You played. I would have said put 80. It's gonna take again. It's not gonna be overnight thing. So listen, you play the Costa Cup and you get beaten, and you can't even think about making it out of the group. So here what then? Pick an age group below. Okay, again, start with me U14 team, or again, start with me U16 team, and again set a target. So let's say U14. And again, say, oh, this is a 3-year plan for this team. So even while we are playing the Costa Cup, we might play a lot of the U14 boys in the Costa Cup with the U16, U19 players who have that age. We're not deprive them of the opportunity. Play them. But your real focus is, again, select this U14 boys, this U14 cohort, and again, train them properly. Again, expose them as best as possible. So is it that every month we can get a practice game for them throughout the year? Can also I as a coach find a way to get better? So link the Saudi show, him saying when the JFF coaching schedule is, you apply for one of the courses and your network, you ask people about how are they doing things at their place, whatever. But I say pick a age group and set targets for them. So if they are U14 now, next year U16, the second year U16, we're going to try to do this. First year, the Costa Cup, it might not work for them. So that's what 3 years in. But 4 years in, these boys going to be 18 or 17. And they're going to be the ones where, again, look for to change the profile of the school in terms of how they produce at the football level. You set up a year-round training schedule. You may not train the entire year, but you at least need to know, okay, if my off season is January to March, it's my off season. Is there any other activities? Can I get them involved in the track and field program, or just have them playing some sort of other sports? Or is there a club in the community that they can play some major league or Division 1, Division 2, whatever? And you have to look at now, what kind of support can I get from the school to facilitate this program? You may not be able to get a bus to carry go all over the country, or you may not be able to get how much balls or whatever, but you can find ways of going out and ask people, yo, give me a ball or this or that, and try to use as best as possible the resources you have. So if you can get a hurdle, we at Glenmuir, we use PVC pipes and try build and make our own hurdles. If you can't get gym equipment, you can use bodyweight activity, you can use steps, you can use hills, that sort of thing. Resistance band, and try build the program from that way. But it's always about, if we start from scratch, is long-term planning or medium-term planning, like 5 years or 3 to 5 years. That's how I look at it in terms of how we structure. And listen, when you have this plan, it's an easier sell to everybody, because they can see what it going to look like now, and they can see what it going to look like 3 years, and then they can buy in. If you just go up to them and say, "Oh, boss, me can, Madam Principal or Mr. Principal, I want to do well in a D Cup this year," and you don't show a plan, I think that's one of the things I've learned is that people respect and appreciate plan, because plan means you have spent some time thinking about what this look like for 3 years down the line. Strategic, and it's an easier sell. So for us to move these boys from here to there, this is what we're going to do. This is the kind of support I'd want. And then you have NGOs, you have other places where you can request certain things like food for the poor. We can get some bags of rice or some things like this for help the program. Every little mickle make a muckle, and it goes to there. So listen, one of the things that I must not leave out. So a lot of coaches have their technical tactical plan, right? This is how I want to play. This is what my forward game look like. This is what my system game look like. But listen, for me, what does your culture look like? It's the biggest thing. What does the culture look like? Because in my view, leaders create cultures, our culture. Culture drives behavior. Behavior produces results. So results can't be the first thing you come in and look for.
Hold on, sir, Peart. Hold on. I can't allow you to move on. Can you repeat that statement?
So it's all about leadership.
Yes.
Leaders create a culture because leaders want to know that, okay, the result can't be the underpinning thing. Because what happened when we don't get the result we want? Is it that our thing was a failure? No. You understand? It's a culture that you can embed or instill in this group. After you have created a culture, the culture can have certain behaviors that underpins the culture. And it is those behaviors are consistent doing of those behaviors that produce a result. So listen, one, can we be on time every day? That's a behavioral trait. Can we be respectful for everybody? Can we give 100% of training every day? Is either again give 100 or you ask not to be part of the training this day? Can you be coachable? That's another thing. Can you look at improving individually? So you can't be reliant only upon a training session to get better. Can you do something before training? Can you do something after training? Can you do something on a day off? So you have some behavioral traits that drive the culture. So, like, we have some core values, like at Glenmuir. One, we want players to be selfless. Two, we want players, I want the team to be, let me put it in a sequence how we do it. So selfless players, selfless team, everybody in the team, players, coaches, everybody, selfless. Ownership. Own your responsibility. So if this is my job, I can own it. Or if this is my role on the team, I can own it. If this is my responsibility when I go on the field, I can own it. Want to be a united team. So we all want to pull together. We don't want to pull different places, because the closer we are and the stronger bonds we can forge with each other, the better we can be as a team. And we always want to look at the bigger picture or the larger picture. So you're only going to be 18, or you're only going to go to school once in your life, high school. What are you going to do for the next 60 years of your life? You get me, I say? So use this period to set up the next 60 years of your life, so that you can be better off, your family can be better off, your children can be better off. I make better decisions, the right decisions. So I think culture is the key thing. That's one of the first things we have to look at when we're going into any environment as coaches. What sort of culture exists here? What sort of culture am I planning to bring in here? And again, leaders create culture. Culture drives behaviors, and behaviors produce results. Consistent behavior at the highest levels produce results.
Sir, I'm telling you, close reflection on those words, very close reflection. And not just saying to say, as a leader myself in my own right, just like many of us, it can't be any simpler. And that I believe I will say to everybody watching, whether you are inclusive in terms of a team that you support or you just want to be a fan. It's very important that we send this across the messages. I hold on now, so time is gone, and I want to give my panelists a very good run before I let you off. I'm happy that you have this time for us.
I'll just recommend one book. It kind of expensive to buy the hard copy or anything on the book,
Yes.
but there you have ebooks so you can buy our for people who want know the ways and ins and outs. So download can download it, but it's a book by Bill Walsh called "The Score Will Take Care of Itself." So Bill Walsh is former NFL coach, San Francisco 49ers. You don't know about Joe Montana and Jerry Rice and them and so Walsh took over the 49ers in 1979, the worst team in American sports history. NFL, NBA, NHL, all of the major sports. It was the worst team. And by year 3, San Francisco 49ers could win the NFL, the Super Bowl, Lombardi Trophy. Just by him outlining his 16 standards of performance. That's all. It mentioned nothing about the score, nothing about results. It's just some behavioral traits. He outlined that if we do these things right, the score will take care of itself every day.
Can you repeat the name of the author, sir?
Bill Walsh.
People hear that? Taking my notes, man. Taking my notes because when I'm ready to take over, Sir Peart gonna wonder where this old man come from.
Yeah.
So I wish team our coach.
Let's not go there. You know, I have a team right now that a coach, right? Far below your standard and scene, so you won't match up. You won't have any match up right now.
No,
Sir
man,
Lee,
remember coach prep school too, so we're gonna match up.
all right, my boss. Sir Lee.
Yes, sir. Can't hear us, audio. Mute yourself.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry about that. No, I'm just saying your time.
Oh, my time. All right, last minute this I show you now.
No, man, just give your thing. I don't know. Sir Peart have the control, Tell you how much time we have left, Sir Peart.
We can't say 10 minutes, man.
All right.
I think 10 minutes.
Yes, good to go.
No, I'm here listening to Coach Pierce still and learn a lot from listening to him still, Very, very knowledgeable about the game and thing. Coach Pierre, do you ever been approached or do you have any ambition of ever coaching in the Jamaica Premier League team?
Not. I have been approached, but not. I don't figure that's the calling at the time right now.
Okay, but probably in the future, right? Something you might.
Well, I've learned never to say never. So
But you're still a young man, Steven, so you still have a lot of time still, yeah?
I have a few grays, but yeah, pretty young.
That don't mean
Don't
say I'm
worry,
old,
man.
man.
When you have a patch of black like me, you can talk.
you still have a lot of time to take on the challenge, yeah? Whenever it presents itself.
Yeah,
We think we'll get some players this year.
yeah.
How many years now you at Glenmuir coaching?
21, 22, 23. So this is 3, approaching 4
4.
years.
Okay.
3 years, yeah.
Yeah. And you retain most of the team for the next season.
Yeah, we have a lot of players who will be back. yeah, that's one of the things we try to do again is always have our exposed players who you know that can give you. So rather than starting over every year, you have some players who can continue the tradition.
Yeah,
Just
that makes
leapfrog the
sense.
system, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
that
Sorry
yeah.
to
makes
butt you
sense.
in, Lee. Just a question.
But
But sir, having so many players returning, is that put you under any more pressure than before?
No, I said we have a lot of players maybe who you wouldn't see starting or playing, but we're part of the team and they'll be returning. But not to avoid the question, in at all. It's part of the game. Like in terms of, all right, what are my ambitions? I figure that okay, after years of building a platform, what do you want to build a platform for? Like,
But
so
Mr. Pierce,
it's
I don't want
no
to take over Lee time, sir. I
no
just
no
want to know.
it's not it's no secret that we're in a phase now that we are competing, are challenging. So like Arteta mentioned, and it was so like refreshing to hear Arteta the other day talk about 5 stages or something like so. So and one of them was about building culture. And I said, nice. So sounds like we're on the right path.
all right, so Coach Pierce, this question was asked earlier. Can you see it?
The one on screen.
Yeah.
Um
Is there a selection process when you put in application to um get a chance to do the C license? That's basically that's what the question is asking. Do you
no,
have to go
because
through a selection process?
I figure with 8 across the country, is it? Well, not at the same time. We should have space for everybody. Um, I can't recall seeing an application for the person who was mentioned on screen there. But as I said, the applications are open now. We're using the Google Forms, so at least we can track the application rather than have physical papers. You get me? I say where maybe a man just unlucky for theme paper they blow it before it could have gone on the envelope in time. At least with the Google Forms is there's actually you can track them simple.
Yeah,
So
but a person would have said that they apply for it and they would have never get a response whether a yes or a no, or they are on a hold, or you know, are they received the application or not. I mean, is there some procedure that you go by and say, okay, if 20 or 30% apply for it and you guys
uh-huh.
are only going to select 8 from the 20 or 30, would you
Yeah,
send a
yeah.
respond to let person know that, listen, we only selected 10 this time, maybe you should try again next week or next month or
Well,
whatever?
true. We can do that. Um, we can do that. With yeah, irrespective of how small the department is, department of 2, we can still make some time for everybody.
So, so only 2 person would have been in charge of making those selection.
No, it's a full-time department of 2, meaning to respond to all emails, to deal with planning for courses and logistics and everything. It's 2. So we'll try find the 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 um the time to follow up with people in terms of their application.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, sorry again. One from the chat coming from Genus Media. Coach Peart, a lot of people complain that 15 or 16-year-olds should not be playing against 18 or 9-year-olds in schoolboy football. What do you have to say about? What do you have to say to support or contradict their views?
I would say right around the world you have players who play age up football. So 15-year-olds actually competing with 18 or 19-year-olds. Um yeah, it actually does more for the 15 or 16-year-olds. So that's just what it is. But it is what it is here. Hence why they even have the under 16 competition. So 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds can play amongst themselves. And then later 16, 17, 18-year-olds play together. So it is what it is. It's because listen, not just digress, but still on topic in terms of when you play like the under 15 tournament. Let's say the under 15 because that's what we played in. A boy who is 15 in January is different from a boy who is 15 in December. two different 15-year-olds.
True.
So yeah.
Coach,
Yeah,
coach,
Lee.
coach. Yeah, one more thing before I forget. I want to mention to you and to Coach Vassal who are listening on the show too. At the end of the season, you guys have the. I would like to see the winner, the Ben Francis, and the winner, the Walker Cup, play one more game for the ultimate prize there. So I'm just saying that to you as a coach and Vassal as a coach. You see whatever input you guys can put in, I think, to make that happen. I
Not
think
that
that's
is saying we again win the Ben Francis and Walker Cup respectively. So, but yeah,
no man. But I think I think that are the missing. I think that game. I
that
think
was
that's
a
the
game
missing.
yesterday, right, Saudi?
Huh?
Go again.
Back in time, like
Yeah, man.
90s.
Back in the 80s, they used to have that
Oh,
as a
The
nutriment
Nutramen
cup,
Shield.
but they cut it out for whatever reason. But I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to lobby for that thing to come back where the winner can of each cup can play each other for a final thing. Just like how we don't have the Oliver Shield.
yeah.
So I'm just saying that to you and Vassal that that's something you guys could push for to make it can happen in the near future.
No man, from myself, Vassal for push for it done, man.
And you
From
too. You too. I mean, more than one voice. I mean, I already said to the ISA chair, to the ISA president already, and also to the chairman, to the president, the Casca Cup. So we don't like to see that happen. I think that's the missing piece of this whole schoolboy football. So hopefully in the near future, you guys can put some talk and make it happen. Because if a person who live in the diaspora and watching the schoolboy football and schoolboy football gets so excited and thing, one more game on the schedule than be
Okay,
icing on the cake.
no problem.
Yeah, man.
And I don't know if you want to come in now, because ranking need to come in and then you. But if you come in now, that's it.
So quickly, Ansi.
So go ahead and see, and then we have ranking.
So
Let me go first to Saudi.
Oh,
I
yeah,
go
true.
jump
Sorry,
out.
ranking has to
true,
go.
Yeah,
true,
I'm there
true,
all the
Daniel.
time, but say,
Sorry about that,
in a
ranking.
chance
Right.
to two hours. No, man, that's alright, man. Yeah, when I hear me clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, give us a period. We just have one last question before anything. Thanks for coming on tonight, and sharing everything. I must make you revisit something that you might want to put behind you. So we would have known that you were head coach of JC for a year or a season, yes?
Yeah,
Yes, right?
2018, yes.
Right. So we okay. So we knew that they have very high standards for their program and their school in terms of football. So we knew that in the first season that they took over, they didn't win any major trophies, and they decided to part ways. Right? What was that feeling like for you? And did that make you in any time doubt your pedigree as a coach at the highest level?
All right, so no, at any time did I doubt myself. Um, in oh, in Italy, say ranking. When you get your pro license, to finish your pro license, you must submit a thesis on a topic, any topic of your choice regarding football. Filippo Inzaghi wrote, I can't remember the exact name, but it's like dealing with the sack. You get me? I said, like, how does a coach rebound and recover himself after? And I think one of the things that season is that I was still at UA coaching the Premier League and all the other UA teams, like Intercal and things. And those players kind of really rally around me. So I remember that same year we had the Intercal knockout final and the Intercal league final. And like the youth them say, oh, coach, We now make you finish the year without no trophies. So don't worry yourself. We win them trophy. Bam, win them 2 trophies. At the same time, also when the
Right.
schoolboy season culminating, we had a rocky time at UA where we were losing a lot of games and not getting results. And like we had a talk and I say, oh, coach, you're the best coach we ever have, and we still believe in you. So don't worry yourself 100%. We're going to get back on track. And we managed to rebound for make the top 6 that year and still perform really well. 2018, 2019. So it's about what kind of support around you, also what kind of mental fortitude you have. But one of the key things, ranking, is not just the reflection, but it's not that it's an experience, but it's a reflection on the experience. So if you see me today, I am as a result of those experience. You understand what I'm saying? So me today wouldn't happen without UA 2019-20 when we had only 5 professional players and all amateur players who were going to school and studying while playing in the Premier League. Or me today wouldn't be possible without JC 2018 2019, or me today wouldn't be possible without all the help that I got from Miguel Coley, Marcel Gale, Sheldon Davis, Barry Watson, Never Bell, Mr. Cobre, all of those players, or all of those coaches. So it's a culmination of everything. And listen, during the COVID, like you're there home, you don't have nothing to do. All I spent my time doing was us reading books, researching, especially on the NFL coaches, because they are big on culture and leadership and all of them things. And Bill Belichick, I figure most people, even a non-NFL person, know about Bill Belichick. And the dude say, oh, you see my win 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots, but he wouldn't be here if I never failed time when him at Cleveland Browns and them fire him. So it's the reflection and the experience that really count. And when you reflect on the experience, you say, oh, all right, what are 2 things that I did well during this time? Because the care whole situation is you can always find 2 positive things to say. And also you can look at it. What are 2 things? Should I get another opportunity to coach a team, that these 2 things I must do in my next team? And I think for me, it was the idea of culture, because at JC, it was much more focused on the results. Yeah, we need the results, and not so much on the culture that we want to install or all of that. So
Yeah, definitely.
So
anything will happen to you in life, reflect on the experience and try be better. Don't just make the experience pass you.
coach,
True word.
Coach Pierce.
Yeah, Lee.
So it's safe to say, man, it seems like you watch a lot of NFL. Like your second favorite sport that.
Yeah, right now it is like it I sound weird still, but listen, football, NFL, cricket, cycling, I them thing them watch.
Okay,
Yeah.
out of curiosity, let me ask you a quick question. Cause I know that you know the coaching thing, the D license and the C license. What's the difference between the D license and the C license as far as the coaching concern? What aspect of it the D license cover, which is first, and what aspect the C license cover, which
The
is
D
after the D
license
license?
is the introduction to coaching,
Yeah.
kind of mainly focus on coaching kids at 12 and under level. The C license is about amateur players or grassroots players. And grassroots, in the definition given by FIFA, is non-elite, non-professional football. So that's what FIFA defined grassroots football as. Non-elite, non-professional. So our schoolboy football can be considered grassroots because technically the players are not getting paid. As I said earlier on, it's just the input from the schools and the coaches and everything, which pushes our schoolboy football to that higher level, where they're competing like elite players. So technically, you could say a schoolboy are elite, or is elite. Maybe U16, you could say it's grassroots or U14. So the D license is an intro to coaching, focusing on mainly basics. The C license you look at now, can you even move on to match observation? Can I watch a match, see something that's happening technically, and say, okay, can I design a training session to fix that technical problem? Is this player not overlapping well, or is this player not passing with the inside of the foot well to combine with a striker? And you do it at smaller numbers. So your C license, you mainly focus the training session on, can you focus on these 5 players, right? And then as you go up, B license, you have to look at both. How do you manage 9 or more players? The A license is the full 11 team. When you go to your pro license level, it's much more than coaching. It's more leadership, or can you manage the finances of a team, or that sort of thing. So that's how it differs. The C license is also the introduction to periodization, or creating a weekly training plan. How do you schedule days? How do you manage like volume, intensity, duration, that sort of thing? When you go to your B license level, is can you produce a training plan for 6 weeks outlining exactly, okay, which day is a strength day, which day is a endurance day, which is a speed day? How do you manage the workload, so the volume on those days? How do you manage or organize your weekly schedule if you have 2 games in a week as opposed to 1 game in the week? That sort of thing.
So what's the pass rate now for your C license?
I'd say it's 100%, and let me say why it's 100%. Previously, courses are done like pass or fail. For me, I give you a driver's license today. It doesn't mean you are Lewis Hamilton, the best driver around. You still gonna have 2 hands on the wheel. You still not gonna look left or right. You still are gonna do everything, right? But with practice, okay, say a student coach don't meet that standard to get the C license, right? You work with them outside of the course.
Okay.
And the areas that they need. So it's a lot about formative development rather than summative. Bam, exam come, pass or fail. No, you have to move away from that and try to, all right, you get this part right, you couldn't get everything together. Okay, can we work in the next 2 months on getting this part right, and you improving here, and you improving there, and you improving there, to a point where you say, okay, well done. I think you're ready now to move on to the next level.
Okay, so there's no failure there then. No matter what,
It's
if you find a weak link in my thing, you're gonna work on my weak link and get me up to a par.
exactly
Where your
because
expectation is. Okay.
because that's how even the classes are, the whole thing, courses are designed where it's not just an exam at the end. You have summative assessments. So let me hear you talk about a certain topic, or participate in a group and present on this, or do a training session while the course is going on, so I can make assessment of you while it's going on, not just wait till the end of the course for you to make. So the summative assessment, the formative assessment is of learning. Okay, we have done this. Let me see where you are on this topic. Okay, let me see where you are on that topic. And then at the end, you may say, run a training session. This is the final thing, or do this project and present it. Yeah, because
Gotcha.
you have to work hand in hand with people where they are and try to bring them to where you want them to be.
Come on,
All right,
understand.
Sir Lee, thank you very much. Time is going unseen. Back to you.
Yeah.
But before you go, sir, there is a question from Christopher earlier.
I saw it in terms of why it takes so long.
Yes.
All right. One, sometimes the certificates take so long because, plain and simple, persons don't complete payment for the course at times, right? That's one. And sometimes you don't want, like, well, maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. Print one, okay. You finish, you pay your certificate alone, and then who do whatever. But I think that's one of the big issues we have had in terms of, like, okay, finish, get the certificate. So pay up on time. Devon Porter, how long is the C license in Jamaica? It's 60 hours. 60 hours. So like we have 3 days face to face. You break for a development period, and then you'll come back say on a weekend. Break for our next development period. Come back for another weekend. So it's 60 hours.
Okay, quickly again. Christopher writes, one of your students is now in the finals of the primary school competition. He has high praises for you, the way you taught him, or taught the course.
Respect, Christopher. Is Christopher the student, or Christopher know of a student who was?
You know Christopher writes, sir? Too much student pass through your hands, eh?
No, you know, Christopher Wright is not Clarendon, right? No, I don't think so.
Well, it seemed like as a student that you taught, the coach didn't license, you know. Seemed like he's coaching a primary school. That's what I get from
We
it.
will respond soon. Well,
You know what I
Dalton
mean?
is
Sound like
asking-
somebody where you're
Yeah.
Dalton is asking, only one coach as a A-license in Jamaica?
I think only one has completed it so far. The others are in process of completing. So I think by the end of this is 1 month in January.
Yes.
Almost February. By May you should have 6. By end of the year, you should have 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Including yourself, Mr. Peart?
Yeah.
Who is the one coach?
Speed.
Is it?
Speed.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
Cavalier coach.
Yeah. Of course he is.
All right.
Coming here in talks all the while, man.
Time is so running out. You say no of a student. So right say no of a student, so it's not him.
Okay. Unseen, do you have a question him have burning?
Yes, Unseen, go ahead.
Quick one. So for the C license, do you have to fill out back the form again and send it over back?
You had sent it where? To the FA? To your parish FA?
So that's I think that form goes to the JFF rather than the FA.
No, who you dropped it off?
No, all right. So I did one a good while now for a C license. So I don't know if that one was in.
I'll send you the link just to ensure that you cover your bases.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, we are back to all our coaches.
Yeah. And McTavish, I'll send Broderick and you the link too.
All right, good.
So them covered. But yeah.
When are you going to send it? Tonight or tomorrow?
As soon
Contact
as
Saudi, man. Saudi, make sure you get the link. Make sure man get the link to Saudi. Saudi, every man.
Peart busy, you know. By the time you left, you know.
Sir Peart, I'm asking you, sir, if you even want to rebuff coming back on this Saudichress show, ensure that you take care of the people who come on the Saudichress show.
Yeah,
make
man.
Sure them get them opportunity.
Let me tell you, you see Saudi, well, Uno know still because Uno there on like that. But Saudi a top man still, you know. Me just have
what you mean
like,
by that?
All right.
I have to do my little own background research.
Be careful of what you say now. You make
man. Saudi a real top man. And you see, when you do good things and people have good things to say about you, you support them ventures there. You get me? And I tell you a long time from we play up by Manchester today, man. Didn't till the semi-final. That's my company show, man. And can I see the work where you put in, and some of the time I wonder if you really have that day job the way you say, because the dedication you put in at the program, the dedication you put in building your brand is real, man. And
yeah, that's true. And assistant, you know, me have the panelists now who I drive it, you know, to get it right.
And this is a key thing again, because it's never yet a one-man show. It's collaboration. So I know Unseen have his own thing, and Big Up Unseen was on one of the courses that we did in Spanish Town, and Unseen really and truly Glenmuir biggest supporter, one of Glenmuir biggest supporter this year.
Did not tell me that, you know.
I mean,
You didn't tell me that.
You know, I tell you that. Unseen and
I'm on the unseen the court place.
No, more than a money cup.
Because you beat Mona in about attack.
Unseen and
Tell him, send me I watch that team here for under 14.
I'm under 6. Yeah, the
That's true,
same
man.
year when you
Him
said
say
them
it, him say it for true.
Glenmuir and Manchester.
Why we never even mention that though?
Yeah,
Unseen.
Alright,
Secret.
I mention everything.
You know, I mention everything.
And another
Got
thing.
All right, Unseen.
All right, let me hear ranking.
I'm just throw one more thing at Peart before I go, because I'll just say I reach a work, you know. Just for fun, Mr. Peart, give me the Dakota Cup semi-final for this season coming up. Off the top of your head.
Next season.
Off the top of your head. The semi-finals for this season. Off the top of your head.
Yo, if I knew that, me that tell you which numbers to go by.
But him just want to give a guess, you know.
I try him out now.
Hold on, man, but it's a random guess, though. I mean, you know, we know, say you're not Nostradamus, you can't predict your future and all them things, but
Oh,
just give a guess. What do you think? We know you're going to pick Glenmuir as one. We have no next.
I'm not a pick Glenmuir. You can pick.
Yeah, man, then why you want to pick in school? Why you want to pick in school?
You have to pick your team as the first one, Clarendon.
Glenmuir plus 3 others.
Hey, why next 3 others? Just random pick 3 team, man.
Gavi.
3 other high
Cornell
schools.
College.
But you know, here I know.
Here what I'll say.
Me call my school name and start it. This is it.
If I call a school name, fine. If I don't call a school name, it'll be a proven thing, and you might play them one day and they want to prove, and no, that's leave it.
Yeah, I still look at it.
Yeah,
Some pressure me put on Peart early.
It not really matter to me.
Hey.
If you want to pressure me, I like
People, trust me, respectfully, I'm not
Sure,
taking any longer away from his family tonight. And trust me,
Yeah, man.
this has been a wonderful one. But let me just close with the chat before I ask him for his final say. RI saying Saudi have a long history with sticking to the task. All right, my boss, thank you. I try my very best to do that, but you know. Devon Porter, do you have a live active evaluation, or when you get your topic, you have to do a session plan which includes your EAP and video your session for your final assessment? I guess that is for the A-Lice now. What are you talking about here?
I think he may be talking about any one of the courses.
Okay.
Yeah, it's live active evaluation. As I say again, it's the assessment is done 2 ways: summative, formative. It's not a pass, fail, go home, reapply. It's like you try to actually work with people. So some persons may video them sessions because maybe the time of the assessment, so the final, the summative assessment, they are not in the country, they are not near the venue where the course is being held, so they could video the session. Or if you want to do your session and video it, it's no problem. But we work with it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Coach. It has been a wonderful night. We've gone over 2.5 hours, and we never planned for that. But when you look at the people, you can imagine the show is coming to an end and more people come on in the show. These are late people, you know. So I wonder if I should start later. I can't afford to do that. But trust me, it has been an epic one. Today was very long for me, and I know Coach Peart doesn't have easy days or light days. You can imagine. But Coach, only coaching right now on your agenda, no other job.
Coach education and coaching, that's it.
Just listening to you, you're empowering me, man. I have to come back to the coaching.
And yeah, being, you know, them say your life change when you become a father and all of that. So yeah, that's it.
Ranking, nobody say nothing.
Yeah, that's life for me now.
Coach, finally, you just tell the people and say he's a top man. Why can't I get a B license coach? Like how them give some people honorary doctorate.
Honorary B license.
Saudi, you want to just print one and send it to you?
No. Just put them on answer, brother.
Based on the work we do over the years, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, man. My
Like
experience
Jackie
and
Walters are, yeah,
all of
them man.
Complimentary,
there's
man.
no honorary license.
Well, unfortunately, no.
Course need to develop some more.
I'm pretty sure when you come on the course, you get
Sorry, you know, once you pop up a show, no be license, you know. Yeah, in a work feet, you know. Yeah, that, you know.
No, me not show nothing at all. Right?
Yeah, some man,
This is the
yeah,
only thing you guys see.
yeah, some man in Jamaica, they are trailer truck license and can't even drive car, you know. So, you know,
Hey,
Well, if you have trailer
Sadi,
truck license, you don't need to drive car.
Sadi. One thing we know, you know, schoolboy league this season
Yes,
gonna be very exciting.
yes, man.
Very exciting.
Too many big coaches.
Too much big coach, bro.
Here, what's going on? It's a professional league, as I said before.
what was that?
The
Coach
coaches.
improve,
I
players
can
improve.
safely say I want to
yeah, man,
have
so coach improve, make the players them improve. So, you know, it go together, you know.
the Wiley Donovan Ducky on the show shortly, you know. And I heard he's now at Manchester High. Your alma mater. How you
Yeah.
gonna manage Ducky boss?
But him always there, Ducky. You always there, Manchester.
Yeah, but he wasn't the head coach last year.
He wasn't the head coach last year.
Yeah.
I know you don't want to say it, but coach,
Hey,
uh,
close the show, Sadi.
I want to say it
I
to you,
say
sir.
wish everybody the best. At the end of the day, it's the players who can benefit big time from all of that valuable experience and information. So players getting better, that's the biggest thing.
Yes, most definitely. So,
Yeah, man, the quality of football step up a notch.
coach, I want you to close the show. I want you to talk to the Saudichress fans, the sports fans, the football fans. Let them know the direction to which we are going. Give them your final say of the show.
For everybody, thanks for your time to listen. So the all of us are key participants in the football stakeholder business. We all have a part to play, whether you are spectator, fan, vlogger, whatever. We all have a part to play in terms of spreading the information and sharing and growing together. So let's just continue to do that. Jamaica is a small place, a very powerful place. Look at all the great persons we have produced. And I think now is the time we need to get together to grow the football, because we have been doing well at individual sports. And I think the football is one aspect that we need to get better at. And as I say, leadership creates culture, culture drive behavior produce results. Just use that as a framework and continue growing. So big up Saudi.
Yeah, man, I tell you, coach, trust me, it's a wonderful night, and it worth the wait, people. It worth the wait to have Andrew Peart right here with us tonight. And all the best to you, sir. I know that you have a lot of work to do. I know that at some point before the start of the next schoolboy competition, you will appear on this show, because we have some predictions to do, some pre-season interviews. So looking forward to see you then. Have yourself a wonderful night.
Blessings, brother, and big up to the parents, Lee, Rankin, Unseen. Big up here.
Respect coach.
Yes, man. Every time, man.
Come on, man. Respect, man.
I want to
Learn
say
a lot,
to
man. Blessings.
all of you in the chat, Devon, yeah, man, big up on yourself, every single one.
And
Christopher Wright.
Saudi, link me up with RR now.
Yeah, man, me tell him to send me him number, you know, and him not give him say, what's your name, Olan? Him give me a name.
Oh,
that
him
Let's
said
register.
It's register.
Yeah.
All right. So you say that. So Vassal in the
And
background
I'll
as well.
send you
Yes,
send you the schedule and the links.
yeah, man, and I will post it most definitely. Yes,
Yeah, man.
Keith,
Big
big
up
up yourself
Vassal.
too. Yes, Vassal, Dallas, Nigel. Yeah, man. Early on, of course, you know, everyone who came in, I want to say a blessed night and thank you for the support as usual. Sheldon, I want to say big up yourself as well. You don't know, big up yourself always. I the big man of the thing, you know, we're calling now the class monitor. We have to start come class earlier so we can get everything off the hand. This is where we say goodbye until then. Hold on, people. Don't move a muscle. Saudichress.